If Joey Tribbiani said succulent to you, would you mind it so much?
Is Joey Tribbiani your peak sexual man?
I don't know if he's my peak sexual man or not. He's just the first man I came to.
Sure.
A fictional
If you, when you
character,
think of a
friend.
sexy guy, Joey Tribbiani.
Oh, Matt LeBlanc is a very sexy man.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
guys.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, let's go on. I was being a dick. Sorry.
Fuck me, I'm done already.
Come on, you got to beat my hosting as well.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Full Starts Podcast. I'm Lewis, your host this time round, and as ever, I'm joined by Ashley on my right
Hello, everybody.
and Daniel on my left.
Good evening.
We're here to talk about those movies the studios had way too high a hope for, as well as all the usual, news, polls, bullshit. We stick in the other episodes just to pad them out and whatnot. I was really professional up top, wasn't I? And I've just given up already.
No, you were
drifted
doing
off
great. You were
there.
I
doing
was
great.
just-
Just
I'm so sorry, everyone.
No, you got this. You got this. It's fine. It's fine.
It's alright, buddy. We're here for you.
As I said, I'm hosting this episode. I was
you?
going to say, I was going to
You
say,
could try.
I almost said month, but we don't have a schedule anymore. Right. What are we going to talk about? The poll reveal from last month.
Yes,
Should we talk about
I
that?
didn't actually.
Yeah.
Don't know who won.
Ashley, do you know who won the
do.
poll? You
And
do.
I do actually think it was the better of the three.
Yeah, who won the poll?
Oh, is that for me
Tell
to say?
Yeah, go on, tell me. Tell me who won the poll, and I'm going to sit here.
Well, you did, Lewis.
I won the poll again. I won the poll for episode 6, I Am Legend. I won it with my movie starring Emma Thompson called Look Who's Legend Now, or Look Who's Legend 2. Depends
Yeah,
on
it
where
would
it
help
comes.
if you knew, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, help you remember your own pitch.
60% of the vote, I'd like to point that out. Ashley, you got 40%. Dan, you got nothing.
That's how percentages work.
That is how percentages work.
I gotta try harder.
The more you know. I'm going to try and keep this episode as brief as possible because we've been running over 2 hours for the past 6. Since the start, we've been running over 2 hours.
It's fine.
It's fine, I'm sure. We'll run over 2 hours again. I know. Let's do movie news. Right.
I have one quick addendum.
Oh, yeah, addendums.
Yeah, I do have
Yeah.
an addendum.
Go on.
About me complaining about scientists and military men from the last one.
Yes.
A friend of mine, he knows a few people in the US Navy,
Yeah.
and he said, yeah, scientists can in fact hold military ranks that actually have a commanding force. So I was wrong about
Oh,
that.
good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
To the point where they can even supersede those of another rank. So it's not literally scientists first, then military man second. They are equal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was kind of cool. So
I mean, I
kinda didn't
vaguely
know that.
recall at the time pointing out we had no fucking idea, so it's good to know.
Now we do.
Now we
Now we
do.
do.
Yeah. At least in the American Navy. Every other force has to come back to us. Yeah.
Yes, I'm still waiting to hear from Spetsnaz and SWAT and...
I'll be tagging
SWAT
this podcast as educational.
Oh, every one of them is.
Well, Ashley, what's your addendum? You got one?
I do. My addendum is one, you got to cast your mind back all the way back to episode 3 of Full Starts. Another immaculately hosted episode, I believe.
Of course.
Yeah. Where we spoke about Doom, but also Baby Driver. So I want you to go back and listen to that. And every time in Baby Driver we say the word Kevin Spacey, maybe replace that in your mind with Christopher Plummer. Okay, can we all agree to do that?
I get that joke.
Yeah.
I get that.
It's
I
very,
can-
very timely.
Wonderful.
Won't hold up.
Nope.
So,
Movie news. Or pop culture news, as it were. Shall we start with you, Dan? What have you got? Tell me.
yes, sure. So I wanted to talk about the new Star Wars stuff they got announced, a new trilogy, and even a new series was mentioned by them.
New trilogy, new series. New trilogy by Ryan Johnson.
Yes,
Are
Ryan
you seeing it all?
Who, clearly the movie studios had some, very very high hopes for the man. They must have really liked the next
Last Jedi.
episode.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
Last
yeah,
Jedi,
that
episode
is.
8. They must have liked it to be able to go, here's a new trilogy and a series. So that'll be good.
New series to premiere on Disney's streaming service.
Yes, it's
Trying to rival Netflix.
Yes, unnamed yet.
The Star
the-
Wars show.
The company CEO, I think it's Bob Iger, I
Yeah.
think, said it will be new characters in a corner of the Star Wars galaxy that has never been explored before.
Okay.
Good.
So it'll be all new stuff, and it'll be.
Is this the show or the trilogy? Or both?
I think he meant for the trilogy,
Okay.
but it could easily be both.
Yeah.
I mean, the Star Wars universe is big enough that you could kind of do whatever you wanted, really, with it.
I mean, I think that we haven't had that so far because we haven't had, like, we may have had, and I just haven't known. But in the books and stuff, we get like, there's a smuggler in this area of the galaxy. Do they ever meet a Jedi or anything? No, they're just doing their own sort of one-off story in this area.
Yeah,
So you can have any type of thing in this universe.
because it'd be nice to see people who just like Jedi's. What's that bollocks? Get out of my face.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, like undiscovered places, which they have in the film. You go and see Camino and shit. So you can just literally have stuff that we haven't seen yet be completely new. And
Yeah.
let's not just have, oh, I don't know, Tatooine Part 2.
You mean Jakku?
Jakku, yeah. But yeah, alright.
That's the news.
That's pretty much it.
That's the news.
We're looking at it's coming sort of late 2019, but as much as we know right now,
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. How much more Star Wars do you guys really want, though?
Fair amount. I mean, as you can do a fair
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much you want.
bit. Yeah.
Disney are going to give it to you,
That's true.
and you're going
Like X.
to view it.
This one
And
give it to you too.
You'll complain about it, and you'll view it again, and it will outlast us all, and we will all be dead in the ground before Star Wars runs its course.
Yeah.
My movie news.
Go on.
Disney. I mean, this is old news, but it was big news this month. Not the biggest, obviously, Harvey Weinstein and whatnot, but we're not equipped to talk about that.
Oh, God, no.
Disney were looking, or reportedly looking, at buying up Fox, or the majority of.
Yes,
Fox.
I heard it was kind of mostly for stuff like Futurama and Simpsons.
It was a lot of they wanted their obviously their movies and their TVs for streaming.
Yeah.
Again for the streaming service, but they were looking at the ESPN side of it. I think Fox owns ESPN or some sort of news.
They're looking for esports.
Yeah, probably Fox News as well. I think right now, as of recording, the negotiations have stalled somewhat. It may
Shocker.
never happen, but I mean the fact that they were sniffing around at all is pretty big news, and I mean it could lead to obviously X-Men and Fantastic Four, Deadpool, and Silver Surfer and whatnot coming into the sort of MCU
Yeah.
fold.
Yeah.
It'd lead to Disney owning The Simpsons.
I think that's what they really want because of how much of a hot property Marvel is now. I think
It
like
would
Disney are
mean
like, could we just get it all under our banner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would mean that they'd start doing Fantastic Four comics again.
Or at least promoting them.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So I mean that's my news. Obviously, won't talk a huge amount about it because obviously negotiations have stalled, might not happen. So actually, tell me about your news.
My news has got fuck all to do with Disney.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No, but Disney own everything.
They don't own Jeff Bezos.
I don't
Who's
know.
Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
I think that's his name, the bloke who runs Amazon.
I don't fucking know.
Is that
Yeah.
his name?
It's your news. Why don't you tell us?
Yeah.
Jeff. I know his name's Jeff. So
Oh yeah, Jeff off Amazon. Yes, I know him.
Jeff of Amazon. It's like, what's his name? Fucking
Yeah.
Stelios from EasyJet. Whatever his name was.
One for the American listeners, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right, so there is a multi-season commitment with Amazon for a Lord of the Rings series show.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. And essentially it's going to be one of the highest biggest spend on a TV series.
I heard
Do you
like
have the numbers?
250
I
million.
do. 200 mil just for the rights,
That was it.
and 100 mil for the first series.
That was it. Yes.
100 to 150 mil for the first series.
Right, okay. In US dollars.
Yes.
And all we know so far is that it's going to take place before the Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
So
We don't even have a director yet for it.
we don't know anything. We don't
And
know-
they also may not own the rights to all the characters
That's
featured
true.
in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but I mean, when I heard that, my immediate thought was they could do a story following like the Dunedain, showing Aragorn's journey. But the only kind of big thing in his journey is a couple of battles with Thengel. So when you actually think of it from like a cinematic or a viewing point of view, there's not a whole lot there to watch. Just here's a bloke walking about.
Yeah, that's true.
So perhaps they'll follow on from The Hobbit and focus on the North that they were kind of shoving at us in that last Hobbit film. Like, yeah,
I never watched it.
good for you. Good for fucking you. I did.
You did it to yourself. That's like him in Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I
true.
watched all Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
I did. I bought all Hobbit movies
Why did you buy them?
because I've got all the Lord of the Rings
So
movies.
do I.
So?
I'm not going to sully them with this shit next to them.
I haven't watched them
Well, fucking throw them away then.
because
You're a consumerist worm?
You can
because
talk that.
capitalism.
Sorry, I can't hear you of my mounting of amiibos. I was pointing out Sean Austin. I think he was doing a radio talk show.
Oh, wait! I got a Stranger Things joke.
Uh,
It's not a spoiler, don't worry. But
Yeah.
Sean Austin is a basic bitch. That's one for everybody who's seen Stranger Things too. I'm really proud of myself, guys.
Right, cool. Moving on. So he was saying, I think they were asking him about it during a recent sort of interview he had, and he said he'd be kind of fine just seeing 50 hours worth of dwarves in the mines of Moria.
That sounds fucking boring, Sean.
I'd be fine with it.
No, because if you actually show him, like,
We dig, and dig the whole day through. Have you never seen Snow White?
Snow White.
Yeah, I've seen Snow White. Have you seen Lord of the Rings? Because they're two very different dwarves.
Well,
Oh, barely.
Oh.
I mean, they're a bit happier in Snow White.
I mean, I don't see them murdering orcs with axes in Snow White, unless there's some
They're
unedited
about
version I haven't
ready to
seen.
kill that huntsman, if I remember correctly.
Were they?
I seem to remember them getting antsy about something and waving pickaxes in the air.
I don't know.
Oh no, they were going to kill Snow White.
no, they were going to. Yeah, well, they were going to
Yeah,
kill
she was
Snow
in the
White,
bed and they were
then they
just
went.
going to
Then they
stab
went
her.
to try and kill the witch. So
And the witch, yeah.
let's, those dwarves are the same.
Same dwarf.
And Peter Dinklage
It's
from Game of Thrones, all the same.
it's
Dwarf racist.
just that's all you got.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, but I'd be fine with seeing that. I think he also,
50 hours in a mine.
yeah.
You're happy?
They call
I
it
wanna
a
s-
mine.
I want
I think the
dwarves to get
Chilean miners
respect that they
spent
don't
less
have.
time down there than that.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
Like the
I'm being
dwarves,
facetious.
the dwarves got the shaft. Hey,
Oh,
when
okay.
it came to the Lord of the Rings movies, and it was upsetting. So I want to see more dwarf.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's why the war in the north, I think, would be good because you've got the Menendale, you've got the dwarves of both Erebor and the Iron Hills, and you've got the elves in the north as well, and possibly even Eredor, seeing how many because you've got kind of sheriffs over there, not full-on armies, but yeah, but something like that in the north because
But if it's going to be the War of the North, then it's going to draw more Game of Thrones comparisons than it already is.
Yeah.
It's-
yeah, because
the-
Game of Thrones is an entirely original fucking concept.
The series is
Look, what do you
going to
want?
be.
Game of
I
Thrones.
don't want Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones has been out for 7 series now. Like, you can't avoid the fact that anything that comes out that's going to be slightly medieval and fantastical is going to be compared to Game of
The
Thrones.
series will
when
be
George
mostly
Martin
its
has an
own
original
thing.
thought, when he's taking his shit and writing his fucking bullshit.
You're getting so angry.
Oh, this. He
Oh,
does this.
yes.
He doesn't
Good.
write while he takes a shit
Good.
because his word processor is massive and won't fit in the cubicle.
Exactly. Because he refuses to fucking change because that's the last time he had an original fucking thought was, oh yeah, I'll buy this brand new bit of computer.
Look, the series will be predominantly its own thing, drawing
Give in to your
drawing
anger.
small parts from the Lord of the Rings lore, and eventually we'll get Lord of the Rings proper. And
I want to say Silmarillion.
it's too
What
dense.
part?
Your average.
You can't serialize the whole thing. There should be like a play of the Silmarillion.
Give me like 4 chapters.
Uh,
I'll do.
But that's what
No,
I mean,
you
though.
can't
The,
condense it.
the series will be its own thing,
First
and it'll
two,
pull
third one
stuff
from
from
the middle, the last one.
Silmarillion.
I'll do.
It'll pull stuff from Silmarillion, pull stuff from the appendices, pull stuff from every which way but loose.
I mean, technically,
Or what's the legend of it? Is it Connor and
Legend of Zelda.
Igord? I can't remember.
what do they do?
Okay.
Okay.
No, just it was some Lord of the Rings thing, the legend of 2 dudes.
Oh,
I know Lord of the Rings.
you know what I would like? And it's kind of a bit of fan service, but I'd
Blue
like
Wizards?
them to go into the Blue Wizards. Because Tolkien didn't write anything about them other than they may have potentially started a cult in Mordor, maybe.
Who has the rights to the Blue Wizards?
Technically,
Because
Christopher.
they weren't in Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit movies because of rights issues.
They're
So
they're kind of in the games, in the Warner Bros. Games.
So is it
They're-
Warner? Is
they're
it Warner
mentioned.
Brothers that own the rights to the Blue Wizards?
Doubt
Because
it.
it was New Line that did the movie. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
I'm not a lawyer. Let's move on, shall we?
Final point.
Yep.
They're more interesting when you don't know anything about them.
No, true, 100%.
So, the movie.
I'm sorry, my mouth is full of beer.
What kind of beer?
Brown,
That's more of a gold.
gold, pale, brown-ish. Every episode, we go and see a recent movie.
Aye.
At the time of this recording, it's October, November time 2017. The time of this recording is no fucking November 2017.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Thor Ragnarok came out recently. What would you guys think?
It's
In a word.
best Thor movie.
In our word.
I'm going to forget it in 2 weeks.
That's more than our word. Ashley,
That's
word.
from you. That's
Okay.
a word.
Okay, yeah, it was good. That's that done. I enjoyed it as well. But that's not the film that we saw.
Why not, Lewis?
Did anybody pick up on that?
I'm just going to leave now.
And it's not the film that we saw. I did a wink for listeners.
Okay.
Jigsaw.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
Jigsaw.
Yeah, we went to see Jigsaw. I wanted to play a game with you guys.
Fuck off.
So we went to see Jigsaw. the Saw 8 for other
Cock
people.
on your arm.
Guys.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Jigsaw?
Yeah, Dan.
Fuck that. Fuck, it's such a stupid film. But it's the funniest film I've seen in a while.
It is quite comedic.
Isn't it?
It's like,
Isn't it,
I
though?
hate you for fucking making me watch this film. It's bollocks. I
But
hate
you
it.
laughed
But
out
I
loud
laughed-
multiple
I laughed
times.
my arse off at this film. It's hilarious.
How many of the Saw films have you seen, Dan?
Okay, I've seen Saw 1. I think I've seen Saw 3. I think part 4. And then that was it.
Ashley, how many Saw films did you watch in preparation for going to see Saw 8?
I have a disease where if I have to go see a film, I have to go see all the others beforehand. So I watched 6.
That's not all of them,
I
then, is
watched
it?
6 of them because does the 3D one count? Because
Yes.
it's called Saw 3D.
It
Yeah.
counts.
And I've already
I think-
seen Saw 3.
I
You
think-
yourself made that error when I said I hadn't seen the third,
Yeah.
the 3D one, and you said, oh, you got to see the third one. So,
I think, just for your peace of mind, really, you need to watch Saw 3D. Because how do you know? You'll never know how the Hoffman and Jill storyline ends otherwise.
see, that is kind of a
Who are
good
they?
storyline.
It's not, but you should watch it.
Who are they?
And the Doctor, they bring him back, you said.
Yeah.
Doctor?
Or do they? Yeah, they do.
What, Doctor?
Dr. Lawrence Gordon.
He's in the first one.
Is he?
He's the one who cuts his leg off.
Yeah.
He's Robin Hood, Prince in Tights.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
him.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So yeah, I saw all the ones that mattered. And the first film...
So none of
The
them.
final chapter matters.
Fuck, it was called the final chapter, wasn't it?
I think it might have been Saw 3D, the final chapter or something, yeah.
Oh my god.
and it was a prequel. Well, at least it wasn't a sequential...
No, it was the 7th movie. It followed on straight on from number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing, guys. I've seen all of the movies. I
No, wait, Jill's dead.
hesitate to use the word fan, but I own them all on DVD and Blu-ray
Are
again.
you a fan of The
You're
Hobbit?
wearing a Saw shirt, so clearly you must be a fan. It's
Okay, guys. I fucking love these movies.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, purely because they are... I watch them because primarily because I thought the first one was a genuinely good horror film.
Yep.
I watched the second one on the sort of promise and the promise that the first one showed, and then I watched the third one because I had wanted to round out the trilogy and finish the story. And then they did a fourth one and a fifth one, and it started getting really convoluted. And I was like, well, this is fucking mental. Where's this going?
Yeah,
Yeah, unraveled very quickly.
Essentially, the run of play for Saw films are introduce new characters and then find out a character has been an apprentice of Saw at one point. So from being a scary
It's like
man...
what? 1,000 people have been in the Apprentice of Saw?
1002.
Right, okay. Before we dive into this, let's just make everybody aware that
Spoilers.
there will be spoilers for Jigsaw, and if you don't want to hear them, jump to
4042.
Flipper-doo.
Frick. Oh, so I got you to do
Okay,
it.
so spoilers. In this movie,
Buckethead
in this movie starring Buckethead,
couldn't stop Laughing at
The-
Buckethead.
The lead character is called Logan. Neither of you remember that. I will
Nope.
put money on it.
Fucking yeah.
And it turns out that he is yet another apprentice of Jigsaw, secret apprentice of Jigsaw. We've had
He's like
Amanda.
85,000th.
Amanda was a secret apprentice. Hoffman was a secret apprentice.
The Doctor.
Dr. Lawrence Gordon was a secret apprentice. Jill was a secret apprentice.
Fuck me.
And now Logan is a secret apprentice. In the 8 Saw movies, we've had 5 secret apprentices.
Yeah, I said 1,000.
Yeah.
And this 5th one that seems to be the most important because he was there at the beginning.
He was there at the beginning.
Spoilers.
This movie was directed by the Spierig brothers. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. They did Daybreakers and Predestination, which, from what I know, are two pretty good movies.
Never heard of him.
Predestination, I know for a fact, is a good movie. Jigsaw is not as good.
It's hilarious.
It's so fun.
It's so, like, I just, like, every time they said Buckethead, I just lost all sense of tension.
Yeah.
I just was laughing hard. Like, some of the shit as well with the torture stuff was hilarious.
Yeah.
Wolverine needle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that was so funny. He's like swinging like a
Bloody good aim as
I
well.
think they've made they
Yeah,
made a
very good.
conscious effort to make this film less Saw-esque.
Why? Because the only people who are going to go watch it is
Saw
those who have
fans, yeah.
seen all the fucking other Saws.
Yes. It's yeah.
So why?
That's what they made a conscious effort to make this movie less Saw-esque and make it not connect as deeply to the lore of the Saw movies.
But then they connect it in the
Yes,
deepest
But they
lore.
do connect it to the deepest lore. But then they call the movie Jigsaw and not Saw 8. It's like they're trying to start anew. None of the characters are in any previous Saw movies apart from Tobin Bell. But
Okay, thank you.
the audience, but they presume the audience has a deep knowledge of who Jigsaw and Tobin Bell is. But they're trying to start the franchise anew and make it so that you don't have to know anything about the films, but you need to know exactly who Jigsaw is and what his MO is, and that's the movie fails at standing alone and being part of an ongoing franchise, and that is a serious achievement. Props to them.
It takes a lot to like mash both those things together and nothing come out of it.
They
It's
had one
impressive.
idea and they were like, twist, they're going to be in different time zones. So
That's
it's like,
yeah.
They had that twist before.
Yeah,
It was 3. Was it 3? It had that twist.
Yeah,
with the cop's son.
Jigsaw uses every other twist that every other Saw movie has ever used in the one film. The film takes place
God,
over
yeah.
2 separate timelines. And one question I have about that is how the fuck did the old timeline set before Saw 1 have HD flat screens? You go back and watch Saw 1 and
He's got
Dr.
an
Lawrence Gordon's
engineering
got
degree.
like a pager and he got an engineering degree.
He probably invented flat
So he's got the
screens.
pattern on flat screens.
Yeah.
I don't think you can afford all his weird bullshit.
Okay, fine.
They're like, okay, so what was the stupidest trap then? Because for me, it was it was the fucking tornado.
Corkscrew
blade.
thing, which didn't explain how it worked,
No, yeah.
but unveiled it, like, gave us a little hint before.
Actually, we have to presume that not everybody has seen
oh,
Jigsaw.
oh, you mean people actually don't want to see this piece of shit?
Can you, on your own, we'll be quiet,
Right.
can you describe this trap for us before we start talking about
Okay.
it?
Okay, everyone, I want you to go and get your trusty block of wood. I want you then to get your huge pneumatic drill, which is about the size of your fist, and I want you just to punch a hole with that drill into with a pointed end, so it's like a conical drill. So it punches into the wood, right? So you've got a little mold of a conical empty space. That's what a mold is. And then like get wax or something, just fill up that mold with something malleable that's going to fill it up, and then you're going to get like a nice little cone out of it. Then hollow out that cone, and then put bits of rubber, or metal or something inside it, like spin it round, and then connect that to a bike motor, and then turn the bike motor on, and it's gonna spin for some reason.
How do you stop it spinning?
Turn the bike motor off.
But how do you stop the bike motor going?
Vroom.
With the brake that is at the bottom of your cone.
Yeah, I like literally.
What?
Okay,
Your
so
cone that is big enough for a
Oh,
human
yeah,
to
fuck.
fit in.
Yeah, sorry. Right.
yeah, look, I think
Punch a hole in the bottom.
I think I can do it better.
Okay, we'll be quiet. Dan, you explain.
Okay, so get yourself a massive fuck off cone. I mean, like 20 foot tall, right?
You make it yourself.
You can make
Yeah?
it yourself.
Will
yeah.
you be quiet when you
Sorry,
try
sorry,
to
sorry.
explain?
Okay, get your cone. Make sure you cut a little bit off the bottom at the end, enough to reach an arm through, right? And a whole torso while you're at it. Then get a blade and spiral it all the way around up to the top. Paint it red because
Because Billy's cheek is a red swirl.
because Felicia Shake is a red spell. Because Naruto, paint it red. Then you get your bike, your motorbike, whatever motorbike you want, and you make it go vroom vroom on the top of it. And the whole point is you want to spin that shit as fast as you can. Now you want to turn that shit off, right? So you take the brake and you connect it from the top of your 20 foot tall cone of spear blade thingy that looks like it's pretty good at making apple peel.
Yeah.
Put it at the bottom of your cone so you can reach in and get it. There you go. And turn it off.
One issue with that.
Yeah.
Nowhere did we see a blade.
No, I'm sure that's what the red bollocks was.
No,
He
it's just
painted the
bump-
blades.
It's just something bumpy. So like if you touch
But,
that
no, you
at
see-
high enough speed, it tears your skin off or something.
You assumed it was a blade. You assumed it was bumpy. I thought it looked really hot.
So what we're saying is,
What we're saying
we
is
have
it's
no
not very
fucking
clear.
idea what that trap is, because he gets mincemeat.
I thought it was hot bump. I did think it was a hot bump.
Hot bumpy blade,
Yeah.
but he gets minced up. So
Yeah.
I had to assume it was a blade.
Well,
He just goes
no,
bleh, out
well,
of the
yeah,
bottom.
but
But he had no
It was-
reason to get minced up because all he had to do was reach out
was keep calm and just grab the fucking
and just
thing.
grab the
Got
grab
to
the
be an
brake.
knobhead.
But it's rigged against you from the start because you are suspended from like a bit of wire or something or a chain. But the minute you wake up, you're going to have a jolt, so you're going to move. So immediately, the pendulum effect, you're going to keep moving on that chain.
Mm-hmm.
So you're never going to be level enough to be able to get down there without touching the sides.
Yeah, no. Jigsaw's traps have never been.
Never made sense.
Not really. You think about it, he's trying to make you appreciate your life, and you can escape these traps. But that person might have to kill you anyway.
Yeah.
Some of them do. The barbed wire one does. Where
Yeah, but
Oh, the
if you-
piano wire thing.
like the key is buried in that guy. Go and stab it out of him.
Yeah,
Someone's dying.
true. Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
I want to make a note. It was only a small thing, but they only mentioned it in passing. But the farm that most of the traps take place on belonged to Jill Tuck. You probably don't know this, Dan, but Jill Tuck was Jigsaw's wife.
No, I do remember her because someone slams a door into her stomach and she miscarries.
Yes, she's a terrible actress. I assume that's what you were going to say.
Oh, is it her acting or is it the script that's awful?
No, her.
Christ.
So the farm belongs to Jill Tuck, Jigsaw's wife. Yet another accomplice of him, who for the past, for Saw 6, 5, and 4, I think was being thoroughly investigated. She was being thoroughly investigated in the previous movies. So why in Saw 4, 5, and 6 do the law enforcement, who know that this farm belongs to Jigsaw's wife, not go and check it out and find the decomposed bodies that they find at the end of the movie?
See, I don't think she was being thoroughly
No, I didn't know.
interrogated.
But the police in this movie know, oh yeah, this farm used to belong. Well, they pull up and go, oh, it used to belong to
No.
to Jigsaw's wife.
Not the police. It's not the police who know it. It's the coroners who know it. The coroners who are now detectives. One who is the killer, so okay, two. And one who's just some crazy chick.
Okay, so how the fuck do the coroners know it?
I fucking
Not
know.
the police.
No,
Shut up.
No. hang
Shut
on.
your fucking mouth. That's how they know.
Hang on, because two coroners, one of them is Saw's apprentice, and the
Yeah.
other one's a Saw fanatic.
But how does the fanatic know and the cop's not?
Then-
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, the same way that she's able to get all his prototype machinery from the crime scenes.
Oh my God,
mate,
yeah,
I
you-
thought they were going to do something clever there.
Yeah,
I s-
fucking, you make such a good point.
Right, the
Fuck,
assistant,
there's two fucking codes in this movie.
the assistant coroner.
No, that's the same. That's the same one. Because no, it's not, is it?
No,
No.
she built it herself. There's
Yeah.
two. There's two cones.
Right, this is
Coroner deaths.
the assistant coroner we're talking about, and I thought they were going to do something clever here. I'm going to tell you what I thought they were going to do. I started clapping the movie, thinking, "Oh yeah, look here it goes! They're going to do something smart. Well done, movie." The assistant coroner is a fairly attractive, she's got dyed red hair, she's got a tattoo sleeve, alternate looking lady, and
Pretty
she's
attractive.
she frequents a Jigsaw fan board, as we learn in the movie.
Mm.
And she says to the lead coroner, "Why don't you come over to my studio?" And they go up to their studio, and I'm thinking, this is really clever of the movie. This is the smartest thing that this movie is going to do. And I start clapping, because I think that this lady, this alt-looking lady, attractive alt-looking lady, is going to take him up there, and there's going to be a bunch of replica Jigsaw traps. And she's going to be the lady who frequents the Jigsaw boards, and she is going to be a lady who takes photos of herself in the studio, semi-naked, in the Jigsaw traps that she has built herself, and she's going to be this movie's take on quote-unquote torture porn. And they didn't do that. She just likes Jigsaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I couldn't.
God! It was right there, movie. It's not even that clever. You could have done it.
Yep, swing for the bat, and swing for the ball and hit the nuts.
Swing and a miss.
So, speaking of that stuff, I want to go back to Buckethead.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
Who's my
Always comes back to Buckethead.
Oh my god, he's my favourite. Because he wasn't. Because like two people popped into mind. There was the popular musician Buckethead, who's done some work with Guns N' Roses and Les Claypool and stuff like that.
And Lord Buckethead.
And there's Lord Buckethead, who currently holds a seat, doesn't he? I think in the House of
I don't
Commons.
think so.
I don't think he holds a
No.
seat. No. That would be
It certainly does not.
ridiculous.
Oh, okay. So I just fever dreamed that, and I wish that was real. Okay,
Listeners,
that's
if,
fine.
if we're wrong
He
and
ran
Lord
against-
Buckethead does hold a seat, do let us know.
So, for anyone who doesn't know who Lord Buckethead is, he was someone who ran
He was a
in our
candidate.
recent elections. He was a candidate, and he literally just has this big black bucket on his head, and he has a cape and everything. He's fantastic.
He's been running
He's-
for over 10 years,
There's a
since
fu-
97,
I
I
think
think.
there's a picture of him next to Theresa May when he gets his results in. He's doing a victory pose.
Yeah.
I want to say he was running against her, but Elmo was running against someone as well. Elmo might have been running against Theresa May.
I'm pretty sure it was Buckethead, Lord Buckethead, who ran against Theresa May.
Right,
So, but
okay.
anyway,
Can I pitch you guys Saw 9?
No.
give me a moment because I'm not quite finished with Buckethead.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on with Buckethead.
So
It's
one
called Jigsaw,
dude,
by the way. Jigsaw.
one dude gets like the dude when they take Buckethead off his head. And,
Buckethead is a corpse with a bucket on his head. For those who haven't seen the movie,
right?
it's going to be the majority of our listeners. Let's remember that.
No. I don't want any explanations. For
All right,
Buckethead.
all right.
So they take the bucket head off of Buckethead, and he's cut like from the bottom jaw, his tongue's still in and all that,
Yeah.
at an angle, right? You telling me those buzzsaws cut his head off through the bucket, but not his head? They didn't cut the bucket, but they got his head. Explain to me how they got.
Yeah, how was his head missing and the bucket intact?
How was his head missing?
He's
the
got an
bucket
engineering
intact?
degree.
Is that?
That's well, I can't argue with that.
Oh. Do you know the pig mask stuff was actually scarier? To be honest.
That's see. I was coming into this thinking it was going to be a prequel, like here's how Jigsaw got into it. But I think they already did that.
Did it
in
like 4
Saw
times.
3 or 4,
Yeah.
where he's like, "Is that a fair?" And then there's people with pig masks on. So I'm kind of glad they didn't retcon that shitty story. But just this shitty story still wasn't anywhere near enough to redeem that.
Oh, the reasons we punish people. Like, it's like some of them, like there's one scene where she's like, "Oh yeah, my husband rolled over in his sleep and killed our baby," and
But that's not the case, though, is it?
that's not the case. But they shot the scene.
They did.
And
Yeah, they shot the scene, and we see the scene, and
Fucking-
yeah, it's
'cause,
an
like-
unreliable narrator because she smothers the baby and then places it next to the husband,
Yeah, because
who
like,
went to sleep without a baby next to him.
like, don't get me wrong, that's a horrific thing to happen to anyone.
Yeah, I
I'm not
hated that
taking
scene.
that away.
I went to the
right?
toilet and then came back, and the man was smothering the baby.
No, not that. I mean, if that happens to anyone else, that's horrible. If that genuinely happened to anyone, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that scene and the way that was shot, holy shit!
But also that whole
I was expecting a slide whistle to come in. Like, that's how comedic it was.
it was. It's dark comedy. But yeah, that whole
Benny Hill
storyline.
sketch seems to be popping in every now and again.
That whole storyline. It's like it was painting that woman as if her postpartum depression was her fault.
Yeah,
Yeah, that as well.
which is really bad.
Terrible.
Really bad.
Really,
Yeah.
really
The
short-sighted.
things you've done because your mind has fucked up on you, I'm blaming you and going to kill you in a horrific way for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also as I think you were going to say, Jigsaw's getting a lot pettier.
He's getting.
Honest.
It felt really petty in this
Because-
movie.
Yeah, was she the one?
But no, Jigsaw isn't getting a lot pettier, is he?
Oh, no,
because
he
it was set in the
started
past. He
petty.
started really
He
petty.
did
Petty.
start really petty.
Yeah, so
And the other one of the other dudes as well, who's there, who he was drunk in a car and the car crashes
yeah,
and he blames his mate. All right, dick move. He blames his mate. Very dick move. Dude
Yeah.
all died. I mean,
no.
like
Even if he went to the cops and admitted it, he'd get a slap on the wrist.
Can
like
I?
a couple,
Right,
6
this
months.
all factors into my Saw 9 sequel. Getting Jiggy Saw with it.
Uh,
Can we?
I actually want to call it that now. I want to
I
get a
wanna-
jigsaw with it.
All right,
How-
let's just.
How does Jigsaw know about the brakes on the car and about the baby
On the bike,
and the bike?
bricks on the bike.
Well,
This is my
baby was
sequel
his
pitch.
neighbour.
But he only heard it.
Yeah, so again, petty neighbour starts playing loud music. I want to play. A
How
game.
does he know that she smothered the baby? And
Yeah.
but the man. How does he know the difference between a baby being smothered by a pillow and a baby being smothered by a man?
He's got an engineering degree.
Right. This is my sequel. This is my sequel pitch. Okay. Jigsaw is
Did last for one,
is
but
omniscient.
he's at least like
He in Saw 9, it's revealed that Jigsaw is Old Testament God.
it's not any stupider.
I want the sequel to go completely balls out, more balls out than it already is. Jigsaw is Old Testament God. Make that the reveal and go from there.
So his new apprentice is like what? The angel Gabriel.
Yep, sure,
He just
sure.
comes up with a flaming sword.
God, he is judging you for any petty little thing. Oh, you're a smoker.
You didn't look both ways when you crossed the street, so now I'm gonna like hang you with like barbed wire and stuff.
You commit both sodomy and Gomorrah. What's Gomorrah?
You tipped 15%.
You didn't flush the toilet that one time, and there was like a duty stain on the side.
You cross the road
If
without
it's
looking
brown,
both ways.
flush it down. If it's mellow,
Also flush
I
it.
fucked that up. I fucked that up, but
I mean also flush it.
live or die, make your choice. Bye.
Can we stop with the whole police story? So I know this was like the post-mortem department, but the whole thing,
Coroners, yeah.
the coroners, yeah, because they're the worst bit. Like Saw 1 was one of the best ones, and it just focused on the two people in the room.
Yeah.
The whole
Danny Glover was a policeman.
he was a policeman.
Or police lady, it's the 90s.
Danny Glover wasn't a police lady.
Well,
He's very clearly a man.
let's let him decide.
But yet the film dedicates more and more time in each of the sequential Saw films, more and more time to the backgrounds, what should be background,
Yeah.
and not
really.
to the actual tell us more about Jigsaw.
Yeah, really. I mean,
Also, lasers.
laser. Oh god, yeah, lasers.
Lasers.
Fucking magical lasers.
Oh, shit.
I forgot about the magic
You
lasers.
see, when we first see the magical laser, which cuts through metal like that, I thought, oh shit, this movie's in the future.
Yeah.
Because it had a future noise on the laser. It went like that.
The last time I saw one of those was in the game Surgeon Simulator, and I'm pretty sure that was made up bollocks.
No, I think they do exist, but I don't think they work the way they do in this movie.
I didn't know magic lasers existed.
Yeah. The magic.
Fucking split a guy's head open like a flower.
Yeah, 8 magic lasers can split a man's head open and make it blossom.
Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious. It looks like bad CG from Resident Evil movie.
Yeah,
Like, holy shit.
but super fucking funny.
Oh my god.
So funny. Right, we're gonna have to move on from this one, but I want I want to wrap it up by asking you guys, in comparison to other long-running franchises that managed to reach like 8 movies, how does this compare? I want to give you a list. Give you okay.
Can
How
I
does
guess
this
a few?
in relation to sort of Halloween Resurrection, The Howling Reborn, Hellraiser Hellworld, Freddy vs. Jason, Jason Takes Manhattan, Leatherface from this year, Alien Covenant, if you include Alien vs. Predator movies. How does Jigsaw hold up in comparison
No,
to
you didn't
them?
go with Fast and Furious.
It's not horror. Well, yeah,
pretty
right.
horrific.
The Fate of the Furious, yeah. We'll include that. How does Jigsaw hold up in comparison to those movies?
Best comedy. Best comedy in a while.
Best comedy. It's funnier than Thor Ragnarok, and that was fucking funny.
Like, Thor Ragnarok was funny, but I was laughing my ass off in this movie.
I'd say that comes number 2 behind Aliens.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'd agree with you. That was easy. Should we take a break?
So, wait, have you got anything? Anybody else want to add anything more about the hilarity that was Saw?
I think that's a good place to end on. And I'm host. We're taking a break.
Oh, fucking Buckethead's so funny. Oh my god.
It's
Oh
just
my
that
God.
one bit of tongue stand.
Okay, we're gonna go on a break. And while we're on a break, you guys can listen to a promo for lovely podcast Hey Down in Front. Give them a listen, and we'll be back in a minute. Bye.
Hey everyone, Blaze and Will here from Hey Down in Front Podcast.
Join us every Tuesday as we provide the movie commentary that you never asked for. Who's throwing a party?
That's gonna be terrible. We go over our weekly entertainment-based adventures.
God, if you're listening, help! Then we dig in and tear apart the movies everyone loves.
Oh, I had my mouth open, you f***ing animal!
Check us out on iTunes, Podbean, and Stitcher.
I had to rewind myself.
No! Alright, thanks for mansplaining that to me, please.
And give us a follow on Instagram at Hey Down in Front _podcast and Twitter at HDIF _podcast. See you next Tuesday.
Oh, okay, Blaze.
And we are back. Good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time you're listening to this, because it's a podcast, everybody. We've got a sponsor to thank, as per usual. This month, we'd
Hello,
like...
darkness, my old friend.
Yes. Well,
Come to talk with you again.
you say that, but this month, we're sponsored by Harry's. Harry's Chip Shop across the road. He'd give me £1 to mention us on the podcast.
We didn't.
No, he didn't. There isn't Harry's Chip
I'll
Shop across
take
the road. There's a
33
George's
quid.
Fish Bar, but no Harry's Fish and Chip Shop.
Yeah, no. I can
Is
tell you what local ones.
No, because it won't bear anything to anyone who listens
no.
to this podcast.
Right.
But, you know, I admit it's not our best sponsor. It's not as good as Nuts. But I forgot that we needed one.
You do so. Oh, you could have asked. I mean, I've got a couple in the bag.
Oh, go on, Ashley. Have we got another sponsor
What?
this month?
No,
Turns
we
out
haven't.
no,
We have
because-
one a month.
Yeah,
We have one a
the
month.
main one I have rhymes with the one you just done.
Okay,
So it
then.
needs to wait a while.
Okay, then.
We have one a month, and I'm going to rub it in your face when I get Audible to fucking sponsor us or whatever.
Please do. Please do rub it in our face
No.
with your Audible money.
No, don't, because
No,
then we'll have to,
it
like,
won't.
register as a limited company and pay taxes, and no, I can't be bothered. I'd just rather not get paid.
Okay.
So this month, this episode, our full start pick is Forrest Gump.
Forrest.
Forrest Gump, 1994, Bob Zemeckis movie starring Tom Hanks. Forrest Gump. And I have a question for you guys.
So is that Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Okay.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is Forrest Gump's email password?
Ah.
1Forrest1. Boom! That's me done. Bye.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Bye.
This
Bye.
is me and
Go
Ashley.
Has it got capital
Go
letters?
now. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Hi everyone, I'll be hosting today. My name is Ash. On my left here is Dan.
Hey, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Not bad, and there's
Hey,
no
good.
one else in the room.
Welcome to Full Stars, where today we're talking about Forrest Gump.
You just couldn't stop yourself. I did tiny bits of research.
Okay,
right?
I
know
asked
we
you
did
guys not to
research.
do any research, but okay, go on.
No, this
I'll
is.
let, I'll let, I asked you specifically not to research anything into the cancelled sequels.
No, I didn't. I didn't
No,
touch
I
that.
didn't.
Okay, that's
The other thing what I want to sort of bring up, and I thought was interesting, was it was selected for the preservation by the Library of Congress to be
Yep.
put in the United States National Film Registry as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
Yes.
Did they choose one of those categories, or is that just
Yes.
It's not
Wow, what did
historically
they choose?
significant
Yes.
no, it's certainly not historic.
because it's complete revisionist history.
Yes.
Oh, is it?
Oh, and that Bubblegum Shrimp is a big chain restaurant.
A big, terrible chain restaurant.
You've never been, you wouldn't know.
Are you sure? Are you sure I haven't been to a bubblegum restaurant?
I mean, there's one right opposite Prince Charles Theatre.
I've walked into one and walked out of one because it was full. So I think that counts. Shall we start in the logical place to start with Forrest Gump?
The end, sure.
Yep. The end. Good movie. Bye.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
No, let's start up top.
Yeah, okay.
Let's start up top. Let's start off with the feather coming
Look at
down.
that CG feather.
Not all CG.
Semi-CG.
Semi CG, not all CG.
It's very clear when it cuts to CG.
Yeah. The Alan Silvestri score though.
Yep.
I could
Yeah,
listen
that's-
to that. All that. That's what I listen to when I need to lower my blood pressure and regular now. Often.
So daily, yeah.
That is actually no, as I really actually love the soundtrack of this movie. Like all of it, like from the score to the selected tracks they use, all really good.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Mhm.
It's wonderful.
100%.
I have another question about Forrest Gump.
Mhm.
Why is Forrest Gump so endearing? Yeah, if somebody
'Cause
sat
he's
to you
not
at a bus
threatening.
stop in London and started talking to you about their life story, you'd up and walk to the next bus stop. So
yeah,
you
but
didn't.
this is London. Remember,
Well,
this is
okay.
England.
And that's
Okay.
that's like down south where they say everyone's a friendly and charitable person.
Okay, but I live in a village, and if somebody talked to me at a bus stop like that, admittedly, I'd have to walk about 4 miles to the next bus stop. Yes, but I think I
Well,
might.
you'd assume he'd pull a knife and stab you. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Different assumptions.
Yeah, but
Actually,
they go an hour into
My name's
"There we
Gump,
go."
Forrest Gump. Give me your money.
So like, I had a question: does Forrest just not care who he's talking to? And it is answered.
not
isn't
at all.
he doesn't give two shits.
Does
he's really
give a fuck.
talking to himself, and I want to get on to a bit of his narration that kind of made me laugh, but we'll get to it later, way later when in the movie. There's a nice little bit of foreshadowing when you look at all the stuff in his suitcase.
Oh,
going,
yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
all that stuff of his that's going to happen in the movie.
Yeah, the Forrest Gump book comes right back around.
Yep.
I'd forgotten.
I mean, the Curious George,
What did I say?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump book.
He's got his own book.
He's got his own book about himself, and when he reads it, he starts to disappear from time.
Ah, fuck me. Maybe I should stop drinking. I'd forgotten that in this movie, that Tom Hanks, America's sweetheart, America's dad, Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
dresses as a Klansman.
Mm-hmm.
And I would wager that the
Oh,
majority
God,
of the
yeah.
people listening forgot that as well.
Yeah, I forget that's a scene.
Also, a genuine Klansman from history. The actual one that they suspect that the Grand Wizard was named after. Because the bloke's name was General Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Yeah.
It was known as a wizard in the saddle. So they say that's where they get that from.
Okay.
Was he a wizard in
Interesting.
the sack as well? Or
No,
was
he's
his
dead.
was his saddle the sack as well?
No, he's
Did he
dead.
fuck ladies on a horse?
Probably.
Cool.
White women.
Did he fuck horses on a horse?
Although, actually...
Horses on horses on horses.
Actually,
Horse on top of a horse with him on top of a lady.
Did he fuck a whore and a horse? And was the whore a horse?
A horse.
Did he fuck a horse whore on a horse?
Stop talking. You're speaking bollocks. Shut up.
Such is my MO.
So yes, while Forrest Gump has an ancestor which started the KKK, it's also the same ancestor which disbanded the KKK and later disparaged his old views on racism. So
Oh, okay.
there's a thing.
That historical thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about the big classic line. Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
It's in the box.
So no wait, I
It's on the
don't
lid.
I don't understand what line he's talking about because he didn't do it in a Forrest Gump accent.
Sorry. Well, I'm not going to... It's
Well,
going to sound
but
terrible.
you never know. In a box of chocolates, well, what are you going to get?
He's up, he's up. Right, so...
You never know what you're gonna get. Game over.
Want to play a game? Pick a chocolate. I don't know what's in
No,
there.
it's orange.
So, dickhead, there was a fucking leaflet in the chocolate box.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to
Yeah,
get in
or
a
it's on the
box of
underside of the lid.
chocolates.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not always.
Fucking dickhead.
Not always.
yeah. No, wait. But I mean, it's set in
What
like
box-
1982 or 81, though, isn't it?
Oh, well, people just didn't need the information of what chocolates were
yeah,
in there.
maybe there was a paper shortage.
Oh, I've been buying arsenic and poo ones. Oh, I didn't know that's what I was buying. I wanted the rose one.
It says so right on the box. Arsenic and poo chocolates.
Then fucking what?
Then it's no,
What's the
wouldn't it?
point? It was
You
just
had to
in the
get a
box.
poison. Oh shit.
It says in the box. You know what you're getting in a box of chocolates.
There
Don't
you
give
go.
me that bollocks.
yeah, that's a
It's a
pretty
good line,
good point.
but you get a fucking leaflet.
It's
Come
a
on,
pretty good
Forrest.
point. Maybe Forrest's mama was an idiot.
Maybe she was an idiot.
You know
Well, she
what?
was
I
10 years
might
older
do
then.
the rest of this podcast in.
No,
No.
no,
Fair enough.
Right.
no.
Fair enough. As much as I like Tom Hanks, the writer of the book, because Forrest Gump is based on a book. I don't know if everybody knows that it's based on a book.
I didn't before you said.
There you go, based on a
but-
book.
Yeah, I wasn't like I didn't know it, and then as I was like, oh, based on the
Yeah.
book.
Well, the writer of that book, the author of the book, envisioned Forrest as more of idiot savant rather than like a lovable,
Rather than
Yeah.
goofy.
rather than a goofy,
He's pretty much
borderline
goofy.
retarded person. And I know that's probably not politically correct, but you know they call him borderline retarded in the movie.
Also super strong, like Eugene.
The writer pictured. I'm ignoring that.
Yeah.
The writer pictured
Fuck.
Forrest Gump as more of a John Goodman type.
Yep.
Okay.
Which
Can we all just take a moment of silence just to imagine and appreciate John Goodman in the role?
I think would be good.
Everybody, we're all just going to be quiet and we're just going to take 5 seconds just to think about what that'd be like.
No, we're not going to take 5 seconds.
Okay, we'll
That's-
take
that's
3.
fine.
It's not good for an audio
I'm
medium.
host.
Take 1.
We'll take 2.
Okay.
2?
2.
We'll take 2. Everybody shut up now. I'm host.
Okay.
That was nice, wasn't it? Wasn't that good?
I was too busy counting.
Other actors considered for the role were Bill Murray and Chevy Chase, which makes me think at one point there was a wildly different vision for this movie.
I don't think Bill Murray would have been a good pick.
I don't think Chevy Chase would have been a good pick.
Oh, he would have been
Chevy Chase
way-
would-
But
No.
then it depends on what the vision of the movie was that they would be starring in.
Yeah, I think Bill Murray could have
True.
done his own take on it, and it would have been a similarly acclaimed movie.
No, I don't think so. Because I think he would have slipped back into Bill Murray mode of dry wit
Yeah.
and sarcasm, and that's not what
Yeah,
you want
probably.
for the character, really. You don't want, oh, well, you're a dickhead. No.
That classic Bill Murray line.
Hey, you ain't getting a chocolate, you dickhead.
Mate, I clearly know all his movies. You just don't.
He slimed me. What a dickhead.
I guess I too am lost in translation.
You know, we
We're-
really are the lost in translation.
All big fans of Bill Murray. Yeah, sure.
We really are the Ghostbusters, guys.
This truly was a Groundhog Day.
That weird one.
Oh yeah, the one.
No, we don't need to carry on with the Bill Murrays. They get it.
We have to
They
milk it through as
understand.
well. Right,
We'll do one at the end and then we're done.
so movie starts off, Forrest with his mama
With Mama.
and trying to get into school and whatnot and getting stone cold braces on his legs.
Sure.
Yeah. And I just know, like, I enjoyed the movie because there's a lot of, like, not shying away from, like, the hardship she goes through over her son being different. Well, no, it doesn't hide away from that. I feel. I mean, they could have gone more with it, but they don't skirt around the issue of the fact that she's got a son who's not, as society would deem, normal,
Yeah.
and how she has
Society
to deal
in
with
the
that.
50s.
In the
wasn't it?
50s, yeah.
When the film was. Does young Forrest know that his mama fucked the principal? Because he makes the
Yes.
sex noises at him. Does young Forrest understand
I don't think
what
so.
sex is? Because he's being vindictive.
No.
Does
He doesn't. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he needs to understand the act of copulation. He just needs to know that bloke's in here. I feel weird about him being here, and he's doing a weird noise, so I'm going to use that noise against him.
but then if,
No, I'm
if
not
the,
in the mind of Gump, so I
if
couldn't
the,
tell
if
you.
the guy is just
In
making
the mind of Gump.
in Gump's mind,
God, I've got my
if the
movie
guy
title.
is just making a weird a weird noise, there's no reason to be that vindictive about
Well,
it.
no, I think
because it looks like young Forrest clearly knows that
he might know that his mum is doing something above and beyond that, but I don't think he would understand at that age and his level of education the act of sex.
So why does
I think he doesn't like the fact that this man is coming here to. He probably realizes that he's using his mum in some way.
He does mention in the movie that Jenny's
Janae?
father
Very loving
is a
man.
very loving man.
Always touching and kissing.
Yeah.
So young Forrest, and to an extent older Forrest, clearly doesn't really understand the concept of sex.
I think he knows the
He
theory,
just
not
knows
the
that
practice.
the principle is making weird noises from his mama's room.
And also, completely unlike the book, he doesn't really seem to desire sex. Doesn't seem
Oh
to have
yeah,
a
in the
drive.
book, him and Jenny fuck a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Fucking all throughout their teenage years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are just like pulling one over.
No,
on me, but I
no.
believe
Like,
you.
there's a line that's like, we rolled through 3 rooms and ended in the kitchen. Or like, something like that. And then...
What?
And then,
They would have had to turn corners in that house.
it's a big house. It is a... How the fuck do they have that house, by the way?
I said,
50s.
Jenny, lie on your back and spread them.
It's being like Sonic.
So was that Bill Clinton?
Might have been.
So when he gets his braces,
Yeah.
she just he gets them stuck in a storm drain,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, that's it, lady. Just keep yanking at his legs, trying to rip that shit off.
Yeah.
Also, in the
That's the
50s...
smart
She's
move.
not a doctor.
Well, she couldn't just go.
Don't touch
Yeah.
me.
In the 50s, wouldn't those blokes be good old men helping women men?
No.
No?
No.
Wouldn't they be, it's a
No,
man's
'cause-
job to
the
help
kid's
get
weird.
this boy's foot out of drain?
Because it wasn't a
kid's
man's
weird.
job but to do anything with the kid.
Oh,
Hmm.
just sit around, drink, and not care about their wives.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't born in the 50s.
I remember
Oh,
the
man,
today
that
times.
sounds like the life.
Yeah.
God. Elvis Presley.
He's joking, friends.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Just in case his wife listens, yeah, he is. But secretly,
Why
no,
are you
he's not.
shaking your
But yeah,
head,
he
Louis?
is.
By the way, I like
Elvis Presley in this movie is voiced by Kurt Russell, an uncredited Kurt Russell.
Really?
Well, the only one who says that
How
is
do we
Kurt
know?
Russell.
Why do we know
Because
it's
Kurt
Russell?
Russell said it.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell said it.
Yeah. Because he did the Elvis film around that time.
But what reason would
before.
Kurt Russell have to lie?
Because
If you
it's
can't,
Kurt Russell.
Why would
He-
Kurt
if you
Russell lie
can't
to
trust
us?
Kurt Russell, who can you trust in this
Remember
world?
Kurt Russell, who said his the aging prosthetics in Guardians 2 was entirely prosthetics and no CGI, and then they
Yeah.
came out and said it's mostly CGI.
No, I believe Kurt Russell.
Kurt is love. Kurt is life. I like the southern accent. I'm not bearing on the film, it's like the southern
The
accent.
boy's southern accent or Tom
Like-
Hanks' southern accent.
Jimmy's
One
southern
and
accent.
the same.
Tom Hanks' southern accent is based on the boy's southern accent. They have got together a little bit before the film, and Tom Hanks based his mannerisms on the actual mannerisms of this young boy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know, it's pretty great, right?
That's one thing I heard a while ago.
Dynamite
like,
actor.
an audience with. He actually followed him around for a while, like just to get everything, all the mannerisms out.
Followed a little boy around for a while.
And
No,
Will Smith went on dates with dogs.
No.
Actors
Okay.
do strange things.
Right, okay, so Forrest Gump teaches Elvis his dance moves. Does that
Yeah.
make young little brace gumpy man boy the sexiest dancer in the world?
I didn't understand that bit. Is that meant to be a sexy dance? Because then his mum covers his eyes.
Elvis was a
Well-
sexy man and those
well,
were
no,
sexy dances.
When he
He
did
made
that,
it-
it was very controversial because he was shaking his hips wildly like a crazy man.
And if you
And
were
it's
on
Still
telly
like
back
he
in
was
those
staggering
days,
around drunk. Even.
Yeah, today means it's nothing. It's his signature dance. But back then, like, what the fuck? He's gyrating his hips like a fucking pervert.
To
Sorry,
be
you mean
fair,
shaking his tail feather.
Shaking his tail feather. Sorry.
to be,
And then they
like,
started filming him from the waist up, so you couldn't see him.
Did
do
they
it.
really?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Elvis-
It was genuine, like, big issue.
Elvis
Elvish.
shaking
Elvish.
his tail feather
Elvish.
is way more attractive than crunking
Mm.
and twerking.
I'd watch
Um,
Elvis Crunk.
And what other new dance moves are the cha-cha sliding
Whipping and neighing.
and whipping and neighing, and it's way more attractive
Whipping nine hair back and forth.
than the Macarena. I don't know a lot of dancing.
Oh, do you not?
No.
I think that's fucking very clear. So I've got fucking shit. Get ready for shit, kids, and then what cunts throw rocks?
Oh,
Allegories
yeah,
for
so-
lynching squads.
right,
So
yeah.
if you go, yeah, okay, I guess allegories and lynching squads.
The bully.
Alright.
It's. I mean, it's the bullies from It again.
Yeah.
Hi
I'm,
guys.
I'm getting real sick of shit kids and
Nice,
shit
nice to
bullies.
see they're getting the work though.
I'm really tired of seeing that, man. I'm done with bullies and shit kids. I don't need to see it anymore. Yeah, I get it. Kids are arseholes.
Yeah. I don't think any child has been that much of an arsehole ever though. Like with the stabbings and the trying to run Forrest over with the car.
Like fucking trying to crack his skull open with a rock,
Yeah.
trying to run him down, and then not Stranger Things. The Stranger Things movie,
Yeah.
he tries to fucking cut the kid open with a knife.
Like autograph his name on his
Yeah.
stomach.
That they were gonna like cave another kid's head in with a bigger rock.
And then one of them dressed as a clown and started eating all these other cunts. That is what
Like-
happened, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I'm just I'm done with shit kids in movies, man.
Although that's the score again. Sylvester's scoring that Run Forrest Run scene. It's
Yeah.
great.
Run, Forrest.
I mean, most of my notes are about Alan Silvestri's scoring this movie, so I don't care how saccharine it may be.
I did put down fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. The speed he goes at.
Hmm. Does Forrest like chili dogs? I guess we'll never know.
Who doesn't?
How many good films are there with this sort of narration? Because I really like it. I like the whole, I'm going to tell you a thing that happened, and then boom, I'll show you that segment.
But narration is generally viewed negatively
It is.
with show don't tell. And
Yeah, but remember, he's an unreliable narrator.
is he though?
Ah,
He is.
Is he? Because
he
he has
will get-
evidence to hold. You know, he has the magazine at the end
Does
where
he?
he's
Yeah,
he's showing
got-
the lady the
I've got a
magazine.
theory.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like,
gonna,
oh,
I was
shit.
gonna save it till
he has
later.
the magazine, but like my point being is that he goes, "Oh, it rained for 8 straight months and it stopped." Like,
4, 8 is ridiculous.
like he has all these weird things when it comes to weather, memories of things are very cut and dry with him, and it's like it probably didn't happen like that, but for him, what he associates is like, "Oh yeah, for that 4 months it completely rained," and it wouldn't have done that, and then suddenly it just stopped one day. Like you wouldn't get that, or like Jenny suddenly appearing, stuff like that. It's like he is unreliable because he's only ever telling you what's important to him in that moment.
No, Forrest Gump as a character, I agree that he may be slightly unreliable. He might get the facts wrong due to his mental capacity, but I don't think he has any reason to lie. Again,
I
due to the
do.
type of
I
person
wanna-
that he is, I don't think he's got any reason to tell a lie to the strangers about his life.
I want to push that further because the one thing that was I'd never noticed it before, but I watched it yesterday and the day before to prepare for this, and there was one thing that stood out like a sore thumb, just grated at me. No one recognises him.
No one recognizes.
That's a
He
good
was
point.
in the All-American Collegiate Football Team, met the president.
Yep.
The All-American Baseball Team, ping pong team. He got a Medal of fucking Honor.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got merchandise of himself.
He does.
He's on that magazine.
He is.
He's a gazillionaire.
He is.
And when he's running across America,
3 straight years. Yeah.
local gardener Forrest Gump,
Yeah, you got
he's
good
not
point.
any of those things. He's not a millionaire. He hasn't done any of that. He's just a gardener and he's lying. He's sitting on a bench.
Is he though?
He's
Is he?
sitting on a bench talking to anyone who will listen. He doesn't give a shit whether they hear the full thing. He doesn't notice when they go. He starts a story and ends it with someone else. And that's just what he does because that's how he amuses himself.
I mean, it's
Are you
possible.
saying
it's
Forrest
just a-
Gump is a sociopath?
Well, yeah. I mean, he killed people.
I'm
Pretty
also
well.
I mean, I'm also saying that Forrest Gump went to the Prometheus school of running away. Of instead of
He
take,
runs to the side eventually,
He
straight
does.
into the field, over the fence.
he just just go left.
After a while, I'll admit, yeah, but
Like, just go left.
we have sort of glossed over the whole Forrest Gump is possibly a liar, and
Glossed over.
No, we can come back to it. I just wanted to point out that
yeah, let's circle back around to it later on. I write 22 minutes in. I write, you know, it's the young Jenny in the cornfield escaping her rapist dad scene.
yeah.
I've written a note here to remind myself in the podcast to do a trigger warning because it's 2017 now. It's the 90s, and I know that some people's
Current
opinions.
year argument.
Well, I know that some people's opinions on Forrest Gump have changed somewhat and soured somewhat in the years since its release. And I think that's specifically in regards to the portrayal of women and of race in the movie.
I have something to talk
Personally,
about
I think
that.
the portrayals for those periods are somewhat accurate. You know, if a little heightened, I'll give it that. But I can understand people's frustrations with the way the Forrest character handles those situations. So again, if you're easily triggered by these sorts of things, maybe you skip ahead about an hour, because 24 minutes in we have the coon raccoon scene.
Oh god, yeah, that
And boy, howdy, am I glad I put the trigger warning.
that bit. Can I just gloss over
Coons,
that?
raccoons.
Mm.
No, I can't finish the quote.
Don't
Won't.
do it. It's not worth.
So what's
A lot of people must have
what
seen-
is the issue with that?
What people?
It's kind of glossing over the whole rights, equal rights.
No, I
It
think
is, but it's coming from Forrest's point of view, where that doesn't concern him.
That's very true. That's also very true. That to him isn't an issue, so
Yeah,
he doesn't.
So it is showing that he doesn't see colour, if you will, because he just goes in there and says, "You've dropped your book," and then just gives it to her and doesn't notice. He never notices when there's anything bad going on. He just walks through life like with rose-tinted glasses.
And I think that is part of some of the, the internet at large. When I say at large, it might be just small minorities of the internet, but vocal minorities of the internet.
It's
I think
always
that is
small,
part of
very
their
vocal
problem
minorities.
with that. Forrest just
So
glosses
the
over
film
these events,
itself-
and
Okay.
the character of Forrest glosses over the fact, that he, doesn't help these people in any way, shape, or form. He at some point, on some occasions, benefits from their
Yes.
loss, and that the portrayal of women in this film isn't particularly strong. Jenny's a bad person. I'll get to that later. His mum,
His
her
mum's
main,
God, essentially.
his mum, her main sort of role in the film is to fuck the principal, and
No.
and Forrest, it's revisionist history, and Forrest is just a lot of his accomplishments are the accomplishments of black people. He's just taking. I understand people's grievances. I don't want to touch too much upon it now, but maybe I thought I'd put the trigger warning up front before we go any deeper. Forrest jizz in his pants.
Hold on.
You're there. Okay.
I'm there. Forrest jizzes his
Hold
pants.
on,
But
hold
let's
on.
go back a bit.
Just quickly, this for a long time after it came out, for want of a better word, the Conservatives claimed this movie as a conservative movie, with good conservative values.
Did conservatives claim it, or did the left
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of.
shout at it?
Well, the thing is, it's one of these things where a lot of
Both sides get fucked over. equally.
I'm not talking. I'm no good at politics, but conservatives
Then
took
it's
it as a
middle,
good
middle wing. It's the bird part.
middle wing.
It's the breast.
It's the
middle
wishbone.
wing. So yeah, conservatives took it as it's a good, wholesome, family value sort of movie.
Uh-huh.
It could be, but then the liberal left could have just taken it and gone, well, look at how it shows what Vietnam is. There are
The
signs
portrayal of hippies.
trail of hippies, all this sort of stuff. And yes, they do gloss over black people's rights and women's rights in this movie. And, it's always focused through the view of...
But then, is that appropriate
Of
for the time
Gump.
period that the movie is set?
Well, that's the thing.
Well,
But then Gump, his whole thing is head down, do my work.
it's not a serious film
Truck.
because when you
That's what he
consider
is.
like a huge part of the film is Vietnam, they never get into the implications of that. They just go, "This is Forrest's life in Vietnam."
Yeah.
So this is what he saw, what he did. So when he's with the Black Panthers, when he's with the hippies and the whatever they call that lake thing,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's just him. He's just walking through it.
Mm-hmm.
So whether he interacts with it or not, that's how it comes across in the film. It's how he perceives it. So the fact that we don't get a full rounder picture, because you couldn't, then it would have to be. You have to take it with a pinch of salt. This is the story of Forrest, not the story of the Black Panthers, Vietnam, race rights, leftist,
Women's rights, conservative values, all
yeah,
that sort of stuff.
all of that. It's just Forrest walking through it, just touching on bits, but never going in depth about anything.
But, yeah, that's
But
how
you
I
understand why people might have a problem.
feel. Yeah, I
You
understand
can
that.
understand
I can identify
some people's point of views.
I can identify how they would see
I
it and
certainly
understand.
understand how some of them are portrayed, like Black Panthers, because I mean, I always thought that was a bit under the rug. It's just he turns up in a place, doesn't really interact with them as a punch on, and then leaves.
I tell you what,
It could have not been in the movie. really,
let's
I
not
think.
go deep into this now. I have more instances of it
Okay,
throughout
back
the
to
movie,
Forrest
and we'll
jizzing
see
his
what you see
pants.
your thoughts on the end when
So
we go through.
he's the star football player for a college team,
Yeah,
and the Yanks love their college football, their college
Yeah.
basketball, college sports. And surely, if he is the best player of that team and makes the All-American collegiate team, would he not have been picked up by a pro team? Would he not have gone pro?
No, because he
Apparently
enlisted
not.
in the army. The army
Yeah.
got him before the pros did.
the army to get him. I'm gonna just not talk that point there because I have more interesting things to say about Jenny later.
Okay.
The army got him,
The army got fair enough.
and he got possibly the greatest compliment I think I've ever heard anyone give another man before from his drill sergeant.
Which
I wish I'd written it down in full because I fucking love it.
Before that scene, can we talk about Forrest Gump jizzing in his
I do.
pants?
Yeah, okay, we can talk about Forrest Gump. jizzing his
before
pants.
that,
Go on.
we had Zemeckis' favourite scene of sex in a car and
Oh,
then
yeah.
man getting punched in the face.
Yeah. Back to the Future,
Back
Forrest
to-
Gump.
yep.
Probably another film. I don't know.
Those two.
Yeah, those two.
Those two examples.
So, I'd not seen this movie in years, possibly since I was like a child.
Aye.
Forrest jizzing in his pants
On a bathrobe.
on a bathrobe
Mm.
because he touched Jenny's boobie.
Yep.
Went clean over my head as a child.
Same.
Yeah.
I thought he was just being awkward. As a kid, I thought this movie was a silly movie about a silly man with a boring 20 minutes at the end where he's not that silly anymore.
Yeah.
This movie is a lot not creepier, a lot
Weirder.
weird, a lot more intense than I remember.
Yeah.
A lot heavier than I remember.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Because there are definitely a lot of times like, I feel a bit uncomfortable
Yeah.
right now.
I did enjoy it still,
Still a good film.
but it's a completely different film from what you remember it was being as a child when you
Probably
watched
the
it.
best film we've watched on this podcast, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, potentially.
You're welcome again.
So, yeah, the shrimp stuff also made me laugh because I want to go back into the army now.
The shrimp listing scene.
Yes, I as jaded and dead inside as I am, that made me laugh.
Now, either Bubba is reeling off shrimp for literally 12 hours straight because they start when they're doing their guns and then they're cleaning the floors
I
and
think
they're,
that's the
they're in the
implication.
bunks. So
That's the
he's
implication
either
of the
reeling
joke.
off shrimp for 12 hours straight or he's listing the same shrimp list again and again over multiple days. Either way, I think
Correct.
we can all come to the same conclusion that Bubba is fucking boring.
Who does talk
Kind
about
of.
shrimp? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, all he talks about is shrimp, and then when he has a proper conversation with Forrest, it's about them going into partnership together
To get shrimp.
to get shrimp.
Yeah, but he doesn't tell Bubba to shut up at any point. He's just like, yeah, okay.
Well, no, he wouldn't.
That's
would he?
because Bubba was his bestest friend.
Best is good friend.
Best
Best
is
is
good
good
friend,
friend.
which I want to
But,
use because
you know,
that's great.
That's fair enough, but Forrest, booby, sweetheart. Bubba's fucking
Booby
boring.
Bubba. Actually, one thing I forgot before they get to the army, he meets JFK at the All-American Collegiate
Yep.
Yeah.
football team.
He must like 10 presidents.
Yeah, and I remember when I first saw this film, and I was like, all these flashbacks of like with historical figures, amazing how they did that. And now it looks fucking horrifying
Doesn't it though?
because it's just the way they move the mouth, and it never syncs up.
The LBJ scene. His
Yeah.
mouth is like annoying orange-esque.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It's so
The
bad.
Lennon scene is really bad.
The
Oh,
Lennon
well.
scene.
Oh, terrible.
The scene.
That
the script for
Oh.
that part.
That didn't age well.
That may be the worst case of dubbing I've ever seen in any movie ever, and I'm like including early Jackie Chan movies and everything. That's the worst dubbing I have ever seen.
No
That is
possession.
pretty bad.
No religion too.
Wow.
It's easy
Wow.
if you try, you can.
You two are going for it.
So
it.
Vietnam has the best soundtrack of all wars, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess so, yeah.
I mean,
Vietnam, here comes that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Boom.
So by the time I get
I like
to Vietnam...
I like the
so-
soundtrack of like the War of the Roses, but Vietnam really kills it.
Yeah.
Funny joke.
Thank you, listeners. Tweet us with your favorite war soundtrack. Maybe your favorite war soundtrack is the Boer War or the Spanish Civil War. Let us know.
Movies burst, by the way.
Both the first and second World War.
I got to this point, and like I really love the Vietnam stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very interesting because it gave us Lieutenant Dan,
Mm-hmm.
Gary
Who-
Sinise.
who I think is fantastic. He almost steals this movie.
Mm,
He comes close to
yeah.
stealing it.
Yeah.
You know. At this point, I started thinking to myself, "That's a great actor. That's a great actor. That's a great."
Movie's full of them.
Yeah.
Movie's full of them. Fantastic actors.
Except for all the people on the bench. Every one of them is like,
Okay.
hey, tell me more about Thing. Did
No.
you do Thing?
First lady doesn't. The second dude's like, "Oh, you're a liar," and the third lady's like, "Yeah, no, your story's all right."
That third lady is creepy as fuck.
No creepier than the rando sitting on the bench telling her his life story.
True, she found a life partner there. But hey, going back to like this movie taking a piss out of both the right and the left wing, the first thing of the right wing that I saw was like, he says straight out, for some reason I fit in the army like one of them round pegs. Like, so some thick shit dickhead fits in the army, so you're essentially saying that the Americans love their army, so the pride of your nation are just these dumb cunts, essentially.
What's this round peg going into though? What shaped hole? 'Cause he never clarifies.
See, the thing is, though, I think it's
Round.
Right.
I think it's
Clears
more
that
like,
up.
well, actually, no, I'm not going to go into that because that's more political shit.
Gary Sinise and Tom Hanks are in 3 movies together. This, Apollo 13, and The Green Mile. All of which, all 3 are Best Picture nominees. These two actors are a winning combination. They are I don't understand why all movies don't just star them.
They are powerhouses, man.
Yeah.
Like-
Pokemon movie starring Gary Sinise and Tom Hanks.
Well, let's be fair. If you've got one of those people in either of them in your movie, you know it's good. You've got your stock profile that's rising.
Mama said I never want to leave your side.
So I wanted to bring this up because at this point I was thinking a lot about Jenny's life and Gump's life and how the two sort of contrast. Like Gump, who kind of like, I made a point to the missus while we were watching it that he kind of, at first I was like, well, he kind of gets things handed to him, and she made the point of, well, he works for it. He just does what he's told in the army, but he works for the football stuff. He works for the ping pong. He works to do the shrimping business.
He doesn't see it as work.
He doesn't see it as work. Exactly.
Does he work for it, or does he just?
He doesn't work for the football.
He works
No,
hard.
he just runs by a football.
He works hard to get where he goes. Whereas Jenny, she kind of
He
constantly
doesn't.
suffers
He gets
makes
told. Jenny makes decisions about her life. Forrest doesn't.
No,
He gets pushed everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
The one
true,
decision he made was buy a shrimp boat, and that was suggested to him.
but he still works hard at it. Whereas Jenny, like, she gets kind of punished all through this movie with, poor choices she makes, the people she's with.
But
You know.
does she get punished rightly? Because I think Jenny is a bad person.
She's only really. Well, see, I had this also discussion. I want to get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to
we
Jenny
get to
being a
the
bad
movie.
person later because
But-
she is.
There is
Stay tuned.
quite the contrast between their two lives.
Yeah.
And it feels almost like, although Jenny does some shady things towards Trump by this point, by the Nam scene, it still seems kind of unjust punishment toward her.
I like the fact that you called Gump Trump there.
Did
Yes,
I?
he did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Drawing some connections there, perhaps. So this is why I
I
love
wouldn't insult Forrest like that.
This is why I love these sort of narrative films because you condense
Narrative films?
narrated films. Sorry.
Okay, I was right. Thank you.
No.
I was going to call you out.
I know what you meant.
I wrote narrated.
I didn't. I thought he was talking about films with a narrative. Ergo, most.
Every film is like narrated film, even though I wrote narrative. Um, you can condense the best bits of many different genres into one film. So you can have the war movie inside this one movie. You can have the drama bits. You can have the comedy bits, and it all fits and gels really well. That's what I love about it.
So give me, I had this weird thing where at some point I was like, no, there's got to be some sort of straight up magic, because after he comes out of the army,
Magic legs.
he meets Lieutenant Dan again. More like I didn't really make any notes on the whole. He's hanging out with Lieutenant Dan for a while, so because that was fucking great. It was just really good. It was just really nice. And I didn't really make a note until we got the part where he's running.
I mean, this is a difficult movie to make notes on.
Because there's a lot of good stuff in this movie.
Yeah, there's not.
But I got to the point where he's running and he's like, it starts to come very clearly, like, well, at least to me, it seems more and more like he's an unreliable narrator because he just lucks into everything. He's running forever and ever and ever, and he gives two people great ideas: one on the t-shirt, one on a bumper sticker.
Which, can we just talk about that
It's like,
t-shirt?
is there
I mean,
magic?
you
Is there
guys
magic
have
in the world?
jumped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in Vietnam.
At least an hour ahead.
I mean, no, I'll go and talk about them.
So Dan's going to be quiet for the next 45
Yeah.
minutes because he's got no notes.
I'm happy to talk about them. It just seemed to me like, and that's when I started to think about, well, maybe he is an unreliable narrator.
Okay.
Is because it all seems, everything just seems too perfect.
Yeah,
I not once thought about Forrest being an unreliable
I've got
narrator,
it on
but
every
okay.
page.
Okay.
And it gets louder and more capital letters. It's,
Anyway, back to
They're
Nam.
in Vietnam and it's raining, and Forrest is talking about the rain and how it rained for 4 months, and shoot, it even rained at night.
yeah,
Does Forrest not know that it can rain at night anywhere?
it tends to rain less at night.
But it can still rain at night.
It can still, but he's sleeping.
Ah.
Again, unreliable narrator.
No, he's just asleep. He
No, I'm
doesn't
right
know.
about
He
this.
can't narrate when he's asleep. He's never seen the rain at night because he's sleeping.
Sleeping.
He was on patrol duty at night. He was-
Hanks does a great job in the war scenes, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he really sells that sort of young man has no idea what he's fighting for, just following orders.
Exactly. And yeah, that's one thing, because he's noted for how good he is at following orders, but he himself is inconsistent as to when he actually follows those orders. So normally he does whatever people tell him to do. They don't have to be superior officers or commanding officers.
Okay.
They can just be anyone. But when he's got to go and find Bubba,
Uh-huh.
Lieutenant Dan tells him, no, you've got to stay here. And then he just disregards an order straight to his face and says, no, I've got to find
Because
Bubba.
he's gotta find Baba.
Exactly. How and when does he choose what orders to follow?
It's what's important to him. And Bubba was important to him. And he went, no, I don't care. I'm going to go get Bubba.
Selfish bastard. Should have let Bubba get napalmed. He's a boring bastard anyway. He's only going to ever talk about fucking shrimp.
Yeah, but, like, it helped Forrest out.
It's fucking boring,
Got him a
mate.
job.
He's a boring person.
Dan,
Yeah.
what rank was Forrest Gump discharged at?
Just Sergeant, wasn't it?
Lewis?
Private Gump.
He was Sergeant Gump.
He's Sergeant
He
Gump.
was, mate,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was right, Sergeant Gump.
It was because,
Well done, Forrest.
yeah, which all he does, runs about for a bit, gets shot in the buttocks,
In the buttocks.
He does
plays
fi-
ping pong.
He fires back,
He does fire that.
and he
yeah.
saves 5 men.
At least 5, yeah.
No, it saves 4 men because Bubba dies.
Yeah, that's true. Bubba does die. He saves 4 men.
Boring Bubba dies.
Bubba dies, and he gets the Medal of Honor, which I don't know if that would grant you the Medal of Honor.
Probably.
Probably.
You don't have to do a lot. Saving more
No, well-
than yourself.
From what I understand about the Medal of Honor,
It's really easy to
Yeah,
get.
I know. I
Super
realised
fucking
the
easy
way
to
I
get
said
a
that.
Medal
was-
of Honor.
I didn't mean that at all.
But like from what I understand, a lot of people who get the Medal of Honor, die in the name of going beyond,
Yeah.
above and beyond the Call of Duty.
Well, it's putting yourself in a dangerous position. So most of the time you're going to.
Yeah, most of the time you're gonna die, and it's only been It's been awarded like a very few amount of times. It's like a really, really high medal to get. So, I'm not saying what he didn't do wasn't brave or anything,
Or
but just would he
it
get
might
the
just be-
Medal of Honor for that?
It might just be, hold with me here.
Mm.
He's making the whole fucking thing up.
It might be that as well.
Although it could
Because
again.
no one seems to know he got the Medal of Honor. This gardener from Greenbow, Alabama.
Apart from Jenny.
Could again be that,
Oh, yeah.
like last episode, we have no fucking idea how the military works, and we don't know what would earn you a Medal of Honor. Could be
very
that
true.
again.
Very true. Could be that again.
If Dan's mate who knows people in the army or the forces, let us know, please. Again, we're idiots.
3 degrees of American Army.
Yeah.
We're
I could-
silly baby
I could
men.
say his
childs.
name on here, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna give him the credit.
During
I don't think we ever have named him, have we?
No, I'm not gonna. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
during the Washington rally,
Yeah.
when Forrest's microphone gets pulled out,
Yep.
Yeah.
do you know what he says?
I do.
You do?
Go on then, give it to me. Who's got it verbatim?
I don't have it verbatim.
Oh, I've got it verbatim. Would you like it verbatim?
Yeah, go on.
Or would you like to read it verbatim in Forrest Gump's voice for me?
don't
I
do that.
think
Just
you'll
give
be
me-
better.
I tell you what, I'm host. Do as you're fucking told.
No,
There you
just
go.
give me verbatim, no accent, please.
Sometimes when people go to Vietnam,
Fucking.
they go home to their
Oh,
mamas
you know
without
what?
any legs.
No,
I will do it. I will
no,
do
no,
it.
no.
I'm the host. Give me my
It
phone.
says sometimes when people go to Vietnam, they go home to their mamas without any legs. Sometimes they don't go home at all. That's a bad thing. That's all I have to say about that. Done.
That's all I've got to say about that. Done.
Moving on.
Well,
Sorted.
I mean, in essence, we've just replicated the film. Nobody heard what the fuck he said.
Yeah, there you go.
So nobody will ever know. And let's keep that mystique, shall we? The outfit that Jenny's hippie boyfriend wears is pretty
Such a
Nazi-esque for a hippie, right?
Yep.
Red
Yeah.
armband, the coat,
Oh, well, you're a prick.
yeah, I know.
Fair of you.
Prick is as prick does.
So I mean,
Yeah,
this-
it's pretty Nazi, his uniform.
which is probably one of the things that the left wing took umbrage with. I'm assuming
I'm guessing. I mean, it could be that guy's just a dick.
he does slap Jenny in the face.
Fucking belts are one.
Yeah,
Like he's just a dickhead. Let's be fair.
he's a bad person,
He's a bad person. But this
and
film
that's all I have to say about that.
that reinforces the whole. Jenny's had nothing but bad people in her life apart from Forrest,
Yeah,
who's her one saving
Well,
grace.
specifically bad men.
but then she's still a bad person because of it, and we'll get to that later. There are so many songs by the Doors in this movie.
There are.
Oh, God,
3,
yeah.
aren't there?
It's like 6.
Are there?
Yeah, I can't name them off the top of my head, but there are.
I think I look at it. There's
lot.
there's a few. There's quite a few Doors songs, and of course the classic Hendrix song because it was Nam and they had to have
Yeah,
a
of
Hendrix
course.
song. Had to have Watchtower.
Well, it's Nam, so you know.
No, it wasn't. Was it Watchtower?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I get that and another one mixed up. Anyway,
Uh,
so we're at Nam.
I mean, I've,
Spent the night with Jenny.
I've written about John Lennon's dubbing. I've written about
bad.
no one recognizing, war hero, ping pong superstar, world famous business owner, and Running Man.
Yeah, Bubba Gump Shrimp is a household name. No, it fucking ain't. Not in that universe.
Boring Bubba Gump.
Clearly it is.
He's a
Yeah.
gazillionaire, has his picture on the front of Fortune magazine. People should fucking recognise him.
He
They
invests-
don't.
He invests in Apple, which, from what I understand, like that letter comes like a month before Apple's actually
Oh,
a
there.
thing. From what I understand,
Well,
I can't remember exactly. I know like Apple didn't get a proper foundation until later. But it wasn't an actual thing until
I mean,
later.
you
that we
probably
get
would have
the
been
letter.
able to invest in Apple sort of before they hit, the big time.
Yeah,
They would have been a company. But I mean, Lieutenant Dan has clearly got some good financial knowledge.
Yeah,
he does.
He's got some brains on him.
I'm
does.
assuming he comes from a fairly well-off family because he's kind of got all these past historical military officers in his down the line. So he's probably from well-to-do money or some sort of thing.
possibly.
And usually, if you're an officer, lieutenant is like kind of the lower officer for the noble classes, shall we say? At least historically, they have been. Maybe he just came into Vietnam that way.
Maybe it's possible, but he clearly
He
seems
clearly
to
has
have
no
his head.
money. Because he's a homeless man.
He is also a homeless vet.
Well, no. What we see, what we see is a bloke who's given up. So he may have some stately pile.
He lost his bank card. He couldn't be bothered to write a letter.
Had no contactless.
It was in his trousers, in the lower pocket, right? And
He didn't have Apple Pay, so he was a
He
bit
kept
buggered.
all his money in his shoe. He got no shoe no more.
Yeah, it could be that he left his stately pile in the country
Stately pile in the country.
and just went, fuck it, I'm going to drink myself to death and hang around with hookers. Are they hookers? Because-
Never clarified.
No, it's never
Never
clarified.
clarified.
But every review I've looked at said these hookers are horrible. Are they
I
hookers?
mean, I
don't
don't
think
ask.
they are.
I don't see them ask anyone for money.
No.
They seem
No.
to go back to the room
They
fairly willingly.
don't pay him. It's very clear Lieutenant Dan frequents that bar a lot.
90 minutes in,
Yeah.
a drug-addled Jenny stands on a ledge and contemplates suicide. And yeah, they play Freebird at this point.
Yeah,
and it's
Because
really
she's got
good.
wings.
Good.
It's free.
She prayed for
It's so is.
I gotta admit-
I don't care if Jenny chucks herself off the fucking building. They're playing Freebird.
I got me. I heard Freebird, and I was really expecting Colin Firth to start murdering a church full of people.
Yeah, Freebird.
I gotta admit, that's now ingrained in my head as that's the new scene.
Now you see, whenever I hear Freebird, I think of Guitar Hero
Yeah, I guess.
because that was a great song to play on Guitar Hero. What?
Guitar Hero 2. Great.
I miss Guitar
Great
Hero.
game. No, you don't.
I do.
And you really don't.
I do.
I do.
All right, it's come back. You gonna play it?
I might.
No, you won't.
I've got the Wii U downstairs. I might go and get the Wii U version of Guitar Hero Live, whatever it's called.
Yeah, you won't.
I fucking will.
Do it for
I
December.
promise you.
No, I fucking will now, just
I
because you said I won't.
So I've written down maybe Tom Hanks' best film.
No.
What would
Moving
you put
on.
above it.
Well, I mean, Green Mile is pretty great.
Green Mile is fantastic. Captain
Um,
Phelps is also fantastic. Toy Story's great.
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia.
big.
Would you put
That's
Big above?
I mean,
this?
that's you naturally go from Philadelphia to big.
Catch me if you can. But I mean, this might be.
Toy Story.
Ooh,
Yeah, Toy Story is also good. I wouldn't be putting Big above this.
no.
Really?
No, I wouldn't be.
Big is great.
It's a good film.
Shimmy,
Very good
shimmy, cock up, shimmy, shimmy, rock, shimmy, shimmy, cock up, shimmy,
I think
shimmy,
I
rock.
would-
Shut up! I'm gonna do the whole thing. I had a trisket, a trisket.
Can we not let him
She
host
said
again?
Trisket, a biscuit.
He
ice cream,
abuses
soda
his
pop,
power.
vanilla on the top.
He only gets it like once a month, so
All right,
We're giving
fine.
it to him once a month.
once every 3 months.
Welcome to Full Starts Pod with your new permanent host,
You
me.
Right, there's one scene that's always jumped out at me as jarring, and it's when
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan jumps off the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he says, "Thank you for saving my life." Says it kind of, this is the end.
It does
style.
seem like
Almost
he's gonna commit
gonna kill
suicide.
himself, yeah.
Jumps off the boat and swims off into the sunset.
swimming
No,
out
he
to
doesn't
no
swim.
visible land.
He doesn't swim off in something, he's just swimming.
It's just
Very clearly just swimming.
just
Swimming out
swimming
to sea, though. There is no visible land in the background.
Fucking boat nearby. It's fine.
Well, yeah,
casually
yeah,
and
but-
looking back with regret in his eyes. And then like I did count it. 3 seconds later, they're both back on the boat watching TV.
Yes.
Just time's
Very
passed.
jarring.
Yes, it is. That is a jarring scene, I will give you that.
No,
I had the same thought as you.
I knew exactly what it was. He was at peace and he just went for a swim.
He was at peace and I thought he was going to end himself.
Yeah, he said it like this is it.
No, I didn't get that.
Okay, right. I'm going to read this note that I've written verbatim.
Yeah, go on then.
Forrest prays to God in a predominantly black gospel church in order to help him find shrimp. And in return, God Almighty ruins an entire industry in this small shipping community, who we assume is predominantly black, based on the church and the previous owner of Forrest Gump's boat. As a result, Gump and Dan are able to monopolize the industry and profit off the ruination of this community's major industry, and I'm starting to understand why 2017 internet might have a slight issue with this movie. Either that or Old Testament God is a racist.
I've got an entire page here that just says racist stuff
Yeah,
on it. It doesn't say racist stuff.
it's
listeners.
racist, it's racist stuff.
It says it has the words racist and stuff on it. And I completely glossed over that. I didn't have that on there.
But what,
I'm going to add that on my racist
there you
stuff
go,
list.
right? It's pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
Are you starting to
Essentially-
realise why 2000? Because that is the point. I realise that 2017 might be right. You know,
Hurricane
are you understanding?
wipes out predominantly
it's
black
very-
You're
community.
getting it.
It's,
You're getting it.
This whole movie stinks of revisionist history.
It does.
Entirely, yeah.
It's.
I
yeah.
don't think it was intended to do that.
I don't think that was the movie's intention, and I think now, now that we've had time to ruminate on it, and now that we're all more quote unquote woke, hello internet.
God, fuck off.
Sorry, I'm just not even going to finish the sentence.
No,
But
no.
let's move on.
No,
Fucking
finish
hell,
it.
no.
I wanna-
Jenny's
I
a
wanna hear
bad
it.
person. Can we talk about
I want to
her?
hear the end of your sentence.
I
then.
can't even remember.
If Jenny's a bad person, whether she is or she isn't,
No, she is.
does that justify the taxi driver who, when she's coming out of Forrest Gump's house, he says verbatim, "Where are you running? Hang on, where are you running off to?"
Yeah, it's just I'm not running.
Step back, fucking taxi man.
Well, he knew. He knew. Taxi man knew.
No,
You
Taxi
ain't gonna
man
get
knew.
a tip by doing that.
Don't need no tip. He know the truth.
Taxi man.
know
in
you're
the
a bitch.
80s,
when have you ever
probably-
tipped a taxi man? Did they earn fucking it's $2 before you even start moving? They don't need a tip.
$2.
It's America.
I mean, you need to pay me in pounds over here, mate.
Yeah.
All right,
That's the
it's
legal
£2
tender.
before you even start moving.
Look, if I have a good conversation with a taxi man, I will give him a tip, and then he will always give it back to me saying, "Have a beer on me."
No, I'm
No.
going to say I'm not interested in talking about the taxi industry. I want
No.
to talk about Jenny being a possible bad person.
Yeah,
But Jenny
you
comes
think-
back and sleeps with him.
Yes. Why?
Is this emotionally abusive? Because this is the point where
On
it's like,
Jenny's behalf.
on Jenny's behalf,
Yes.
is she emotionally abusive towards Forrest?
Yes.
Because
She
she comes
knows
back.
she has power over him.
Yeah, she does know she has power over him, like almost complete dominance.
You think
poor
about what she
Forrest.
does. She only comes back to Forrest when he's a gazillionaire.
Yep.
After she has contemplated suicide and learns on the news that Forrest is a gazillionaire, she sees him on the boat in making lots of shrimp money. She fucks him to stay on his good side.
No, she comes back
And then
when he's
runs
been-
away again.
when he's been running. That's when she comes back. But is it because she considers herself to be a horrible person and can't handle the fact that Forrest has been nothing but good to her and says, you really don't deserve me. You deserve better. I want a happy life with this, and I want you to be happy.
You know
but
what,
I'm not
potentially.
good enough for you.
I didn't look at it that way, but now, the next time we see her, she's a nurse.
Yeah.
So perhaps she's done enough good by that point to warrant seeing Forrest again.
Yeah, perhaps.
I like
Like
that.
it's
Yeah.
she's constantly trying to you see her really make a change in her life and her action, trying to make things better from what her past self was when she fucking starts throwing rocks at her old house and just losing her temper at it.
I mean, you can
Because she's-
understand that though. I mean, that
Yeah.
house represents
but
everything
yeah,
that's gone
exactly,
wrong.
and
with
that's
her
when
life.
she finally turns from
Jenny isn't a
I'm
good
ruining
person
my life.
until she has the
Turn
child. Jenny comes back,
no, it's
crashes in Forrest Gump's house after his mum has died, crashes in Forrest Gump's house, I'm assuming rent-free. Forrest is nothing but nice to her throughout the entire movie. Really, just a completely lovely person to her. He asks her to marry him because he loves her, and she says no. And he gets upset, and she goes and fucks him, has sex with Forrest Gump, just to stay in his good books, and
No.
then runs away again.
It's not to stay as good.
It's to
books.
stay in his good books because she doesn't want him to be mad at her because you might never be able to come back and crash there when she's fucked up her life again.
It might just be that she can't be tied down, but then when she has a kid, the kid ties her down. So then she decides to go with Forrest Gump.
I think it's simple as that. I think it's a simple case of she feels unworthy of Forrest and his affections and the way he's been nice to her.
No.
I'm just putting this out as a question more than anything. But do you see what I mean though? Like,
I mean,
it's,
Jenny has agency throughout the film. She unlike Forrest, she has an agency. She knows what she's doing. She knows where she's going. And she uses Forrest.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing to
No, but
dispute, Dan, the big
doesn't.
thing to dispute your claim is the night when they're in her dorm room. Because immediately, he's just done something wrong, but she's still trying to reward him in some way. But surely she then thinks at that point that she's not worth it.
possibly. I see. Don't get me wrong. I'm seeing this from both perspectives here. So I'm saying, like, audience, tell us what you think.
Yeah.
I'm interested. The running scene is stupid.
Running Gump.
I thought it was stupid.
Why?
Like, what he spends all his time running, and he gives people a bunch of great inventions and advice, just because he's running about.
But that's the movie, though. Forrest is revisionist history. He does these things that he didn't actually do, but the movie says he did.
But I mean, how much?
Forrest
do we
has got
care?
a weird fucking face, though, isn't he?
He's got
When he wipes his face on that T-shirt, and it's like
Indeed.
2 dots and a smile.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Has he
big
just
smile
got a
on his
needle
lips.
poking out of his face that he just does this little design on?
Is Forrest at that point? Is running Gump? Is he a cult leader?
No, because no one fucking knows who he is.
But he's got these
Very
legions
good
of
point.
people following him,
I don't know who he is.
running across the country with him. Could he, in theory, have asked those people to drink poison Kool-Aid?
He could do something along that line.
Would they
because-
have done it? Is he a cult leader?
No.
Yeah,
probably
well,
not.
we don't know. He could have done something
He
similar.
turns around and says, "I'm going home now,"
and
they'll
then
just
they're
stay
all like,
there.
then his followers like, well, what do we do now?
Yeah,
They're following him. They followed him across the country. They're an inspiration to this man.
Yeah, but you know what? As soon as Forrest is done with him, the film's done with him.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, again, I've just gone mad on my notes because a gardener from Greenbow, Alabama, he's a fucking national icon. No one seems to fucking know, despite the fact he said, I am a national icon. And I've just gone, this sounds made up by a dum-dum. Is Forrest an untrustworthy narrator, a lying, scummy shitbag? I may have overdone it a little bit.
You may have got a bit angry.
Poor old Forrest.
But yeah, I mean, what purpose did that running scene serve you? What more did it tell you about his life?
It was just
What
more,
amazing thing happened
here's
there
how
that
Forrest
showed
has
you?
touched history.
Yeah, it's what Ashley said. It's a scene. It's a whimsical scene. It runs across the country because that's just what he does. He run, Forrest, run.
I don't think it's that whimsical.
The entire movie is pretty whimsical.
I think the whole movie is, meant to have whimsy about it, but... So,
2 hours and 1 minute in, I write, that is Haley Joel fucking Osment.
that is Haley Joel Osment.
Hey, Haley Joel.
And just
That's
like,
my last note, by the way.
I mean, just like that, this movie becomes an allegory for safe sex.
No. Don't be mean to Haley
Wear
Joel
a condom or you may conceive a child actor.
Osment. No, don't be mean to Haley Joel Osment.
Why not? He's not going to listen.
It's not his fault that there were shit movies. You do the best of what you're given.
Oh, man.
Actually,
So, one of my last notes was, she hid a child for him for like 5-6 years. What?
Because she's a
fucker.
bad person.
3 years.
Oh, he's
He's older
three.
than 3.
He's meant to be. It's
I'm
3
assuming
years.
he's 5 to 6.
He's 5 to 6. So he's 3 years when he goes back. So he's sitting on the bus stop. That's 3 years after Jenny's left.
Yeah.
So that's then 3 years when he goes to see Jenny as a nurse. And then Jenny dies, and then Forrest goes to school when he's 5. So
Okay.
within that 2 years afterwards, Jenny
Okay.
dies, and then the kid goes to school.
Okay, right. Okay, fair enough.
But my penultimate note before, hey, Haley Joel, I realised I did give it to Jenny as well. Because she got pregnant for the gazillion bucks,
Yes.
and she's the only one who recognises Forrest as a big dumb celebrity man. And she's going to take him for all he's got because she doesn't give a fuck and struggles in trusting
If
men.
that was the case,
This
she
is-
would have stayed in that house. She wouldn't have run off if that was the case. If she just wanted him for the money and for that kid money, she wouldn't
No,
have
she
like,
knows,
I
she
wanna-
knows
chosen
he's
as a
wrapped
nurse
around
on
her
her own.
finger. She knows he's wrapped around her finger wherever she is.
I want to expand on Ashley's note because on the Jenny is a bad person theme, they play the marriage scene as like a nice thing in the movie. But you think about everything she's done up to that point. Is she just marrying Forrest Gump to legitimize
Seems it.
Forrest Jr. in order to secure a fortune for that child later in life? She doesn't
That is
care.
also very possible. Yes.
She didn't care because she's a bad person.
I also have written down here, like, she could have given Forrest some form of STI, like HIV or something.
Yeah.
Well, so the one thing I know about the sequel book is that they say it's Hep C.
Hep C.
Hep C. Okay.
Yeah,
So she could have given that to Forrest.
could have done, but I think we would have known about that.
When Forrest meets Haley Joel Gump for the first time,
Yep.
and
Oh yeah, now she wants marriage.
he asks, "Is he smart or is he like?" And he can't quite get the
like
words out. He chokes up. That's some quality choke-upping acting by Tom Hanks.
Yep.
That's a really effective bit of acting. That's a real worthy bit right there.
Yeah, that's why he's an Oscar nominee.
Yeah. Oscar winner?
And probably winner, yeah. Nominees, it's safer, just in case. But, so, here's where I get to the weird bit of narration. Also, we see Dan, they have the wedding, he has a bit of a perfect life, and he buries her, and then suddenly he's just talking to her grave. It's such a weird, it's such a jarring transition to go from not speaking much, his life, and then he's just talking to her grave,
Yeah.
as if she's a stranger at the bus stop. I understand that's a coping
Jenny
mechanism.
is Tombstone.
Like a coping mechanism, but that's so jarring to go from he's just telling his life to now I'm telling you, Jenny, and you're dead. Like it's weird.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
last 20 minutes of the movie does get a bit jarring, where he stops telling people the life story and it turns to present day, and then it jumps ahead a little while, and then he's telling the story to Jenny. Jenny's great. It's a bit whiplashy. But Jenny's tombstone says that she died March 22nd, 1982.
Yeah.
Gump says that she died on Saturday, and her tombstone says March 22nd, 1982. That was a Monday.
He's not a clever boy.
He's not a clever boy, but you'd know the days of the week, and you'd know what day your wife died on.
I do. I remember it fondly.
Because I killed her.
I hit a liver with a chicken Kiev and a bottle of Ribena.
Sounds like right.
I just thought I'd point that out to everyone because somebody in props fucked up that day.
Yeah, somebody fucked that up. My last note is it's a good movie, but you know that's the last note I've got.
It's not aged well, but it's still a good movie.
I've got a couple more.
It's a very
things.
colourful movie as well.
Okay, go on.
Very colourful movie. As a child, as I said earlier, I thought the last 20 minutes of this movie were rubbish. It's not funny anymore. Jenny died. Turn it off. Now that I'm older, and especially now that I'm a parent, I've changed. And I didn't think I would, but I did.
Mm.
I can't cope with a parental death, leaving a young child without a parent in movies anymore, or the death of the kid in movies anymore. And it doesn't matter if the kid is Haley Joel Osment and sees ghosts or not. I was fighting back fucking tears on the train as I watched this movie. As Forrest gives Jenny's grave the letter written by young Forrest,
Yeah.
I was fighting them back. And you don't think it will happen to you when you become a parent. You think, no, I'll be a cool parent. Nothing like that will bother me. But it will. And I fucking promise you.
No, I never thought you were going to be a cool parent.
Well,
I never thought you were going to be a cool parent.
guys.
Didn't think you were cool anyway.
You're still a cool friend.
Guys.
I mean, I love you and all, but,
You're a cool guy, buddy.
Thanks, friend. Does Forrest Gump go into shutdown mode at the end? He sees the kid off on the bus.
Yep.
Sits on the stump.
Powers down.
Stares into the middle distance. Powers down, doesn't move. Feather blows away. We
Blows
see
away.
it come back, and
Blowing
Forrest
in
is
the wind.
just sat in the exact same position he was. Does he just sit there and wait until school finishes and the bus comes back?
No, whenever a
know.
human comes past his infrared beams,
Ah,
he goes, let me tell you a story.
let me
Forrest,
tell you my
Forrest
life
Gump.
story.
And then he just makes up a bunch of shit.
I'm Forrest Gump. I just saw my ones and zeros off on the school bus. That's why he talks that way. Because he is a robot.
I have seen a black hole.
fucking... You're going to go somewhere else with that.
Right, come on, final thoughts then. What's everybody's final thoughts?
I mean, yeah, it hasn't really aged well, and you can see why, looking back at it, you can go, yeah, that's problematic. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Seems a little... It's very revisionist. I think it's still a good movie, and there's good performances throughout.
Yeah, and there are certain scenes which make it fairly phenomenal. I mean, I reckon we all share the same kind of favourite section, which, for myself, is Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam.
Jenny naked on stage, yeah. I agree.
In Vietnam. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Bobby
Yeah,
Dylan.
indeed.
Yeah, final thoughts. I mean, the internet at large may have soured on the movie over time. It doesn't hold up to your memories of it as a kid. It's a completely different movie.
Mhm.
there's still a lot to like here, though, and it's sickly sweet, and the plot is contrived, but it's got that sort of magical 90s movie whimsy about it that you sort of miss in modern movies. If you like a melodrama, if you like melodrama and whimsy, it's your kind of movie. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Maybe the reason Jenny being a bad person, maybe that is the reason this movie won Best Picture over Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption, and that is still a tragedy that it won over those two movies, because those two movies are infinitely better than Forrest Gump is.
Not
but as
Pulp Fiction.
all right, well, another day. As a kid, so much of this movie goes over your head. As a kid, it's a kid's film about a silly man who does silly things. And now that we've grown up, more aware, more conscious, more connected, a lot of this movie is very grey. Forrest, quote unquote, wins, but the movie lets you question his actions. And Jenny she's a very grey character as well. The characters in this are not cut and dried. Jenny, is she a bad person? Is she not? We've had this argument today. I'd hypothesized that the reason, those are the reason this won Best Picture in '94 over Pulp Fiction, which I'm sure, fine. Maybe that's the reason there's so much backlash against the movie now as well in the online communities. Is because this was a silly movie we watched as kids, and it isn't as silly and goofy as we remember it. It's not as silly and goofy as we thought it was, and that's what's caused this knee-jerk backlash against the movie in the most vocal corners of the internet, between the 16 to 36-year-old groups. We grew up watching this movie, watched it as kids. We thought it was funny, and it's not. It's a lot grayer and a lot darker in places than we thought it was.
I'll be honest, I think it was that funny as a kid. In all those movies as a kid, I was like, it's not cartoon, I don't care.
No punchline from me there. It's just an observation, just a hypothesis.
Okay.
End.
So, give me that sequel.
You want that sequel?
I want that
you want them sequel details?
I want them sequel details.
There is a sequel to this movie. Technically, there is a sequel to the movie.
Yeah.
Produced?
Forrest Gump, the book,
It
was written by Winston Groom. The sequel book, called Gump and Co., is written almost as a retaliation to the movie rather than a sequel to the book. Because the author didn't particularly, from what I understand, didn't particularly enjoy the movie and its portrayal of Forrest and its adaptation overall. So he writes the sequel, Gump and Co., as a sequel to the movie more than the book, which is evident on the cover of the book because it's a white background, Forrest on a park bench. I won't go into full details, but this is just a quick rundown of what happens in the Gump and Co. sequel book. Settle in.
Oh, wait, quickly. Did you have the information about how there was a bit of lawsuit trouble over Forrest Gump and how the creator, I don't think he was paid as much as he should have been?
Yeah. That's probably another reason why you wrote this book in retaliation.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Go for it.
Bubba Gump goes under. Forrest is a janitor at a strip club, becomes an NFL player. Jenny dies and he's cut from the team. Forrest invents new coke. It's shit. An angry mob chases him out of town. He becomes a pig farmer and solves the energy crisis with pig shit, but there's a meltdown and there's a pig shit explosion. He's visited by Jenny's ghost. Forrest goes to jail. While in jail, he helps build a religious theme park. He becomes a Wall Street patsy, meets Tom Hanks in a restaurant. He's knocked out and he's told that he's actually still enlisted in the army. He gets sent to Alaska, commandeers an oil tanker which he crashes. He's sent to West Germany and gets recruited by the Sauerkraut's German-American football team. Forrest brings down the Berlin Wall with a football punt. Forrest then gets deployed to Persia, captures Saddam Hussein, but is told to put him back. Lieutenant Dan gets killed in friendly fire. I don't know where Lieutenant Dan's popped up from, but he's in the book. He builds a new business, harvesting oyster, meets Bill Clinton, fights a race war. The end.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
I want just to...
That, my friends,
It's insanity.
is the book, not the unproduced sequel to the movie.
Okay.
Go on, Ashley. What were your thoughts? I'll tell you I'll tell you more about
I
the
just want
movie in a
you two,
second.
please, to recognise that this was written before I heard any of that. So before
This is your sequel pitch, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. So that is Gump and Co. the book. It's delirious. It's crazy. Read
That's a
it.
coke fever dream.
So he meets Tom Hanks.
Go on. Yeah. Right. I did it fast. If you've got any questions, come on. I'll read it out again.
No, I don't even want to ask.
He meets Tom
Religious
Hanks in a
theme
restaurant.
park?
He meets Tom Hanks in a restaurant, and Tom Hanks says, Tom Hanks in the restaurant is apparently loud and obnoxious and spewing off lines like, stupid is, stupid does. And,
Oh, hang on, sorry.
And
He meets the actor who played Forrest Gump.
yes.
Right.
Who is Tom Hanks?
Who is Tom Hanks?
Yeah, but so in this...
And
sequel-
Tom Hanks in the book, in the restaurant, is loud and obnoxious and reeling off, stupid is as stupid does, and Forrest Gump
Catchphrases,
character
waka waka.
in the book thinks that's stupid.
Oh, in this universe of the book,
Yeah.
is there a Forrest Gump film where he's played by Tom Hanks, or is this just Tom Hanks in a one-off situation saying these words?
I believe
Yes.
there is a Forrest Gump film. It's not really
has an engineering
touched
degree.
upon much in the book. I think one of the opening lines in the book might be, "Oh, a movie ruins your life," and then we go into the book proper.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm guessing that's what it is. It's the first movie is more. No, wait.
Any other questions?
I'm gonna fucking take a punt
Like
at what the movie.
take a punt,
Like
like a football punt that brings down the Berlin Wall.
Like a football punt that brings down the Berlin Wall, as to exactly what the movie would have been based on, and that's Gump dealing with the fact that he's now a celebrity after a movie was made of his life.
This is what you imagine the sequel would be.
Yes,
Okay.
that was my because I thought about that for my pitch, but I went with something else. But that's my guess.
Okay. Let me tell you.
Go.
The movie rights to the shit show that is Gump and Co. were bought by Paramount in the 90s for a 7-figure sum.
Christ.
Yeah. And if you think it couldn't get any more crazy than the book, let me tell you, sir, you're very, very wrong.
I want to know how far off the mark I am.
Right, the script was written by Eric Roth. It's been in development hell for a good long while, since the 90s. Apparently Paramount was still looking at it in 2007, but let's be honest, it's never going to happen. This is what Gump and Co. the movie would have featured. Forrest Gump becomes an astronaut for NASA. Now, this was in the first book. Gump becomes an astronaut in the book. And he befriends Sue, who is an orangutan.
Say no more.
He would meet and dance with Princess Diana, and I dread to think how that encounter would have ended, and Ashley is furiously crossing out
I'm not
part of
crossing,
his
I'm
sequel
marking
pitch.
the similarities.
Oh my god.
Forrest would have been around for the Oklahoma City bombings. He also somehow would have wound up in the back of O.J. Simpson's white Bronco during the hostage/car chase situation.
What?
And would have
I think you
become
go too fast, LJ.
a world-renowned ballroom dancer.
No.
Fuck is this?
However, Eric Roth submitted the final script for the sequel on September 10th, 2001.
So this was never
And
fucking
24 hours later, it wasn't relevant anymore.
Yeah. No.
I found
Fuck off.
a few other little tidbits on
Okay.
on a Gump and Co. movie.
Fuck, I was well off.
You were.
Apparently I was spot fucking on. Jesus.
A few other little tidbits on a Gump and Co. movie that this came from 2014, the 20th anniversary of the movie. So these aren't ideas lifted from Eric Roth's cancelled 2001 version of the script. USA Today interviewed Tom Hanks, Rob Zemeckis. This is what they think would happen in a sequel. Bob Zemeckis is the director.
Yes.
So Gump would have had the idea for Facebook. Just mentioning it offhanded to the Winkle bosses, he would have been like, "Wouldn't it be good if there was a book that had everybody's face in?" He would have helped out in Hurricane Katrina.
God.
And he would...
No.
This one comes directly from Bob
I almost
Zemeckis.
said.
He would have opened an orphanage in Pakistan opposite Bin Laden's hideout. Forrest finds Bin Laden. Ashley is marking his pitch again.
No way you had that.
Yep.
No way you fuck off. You did not have that.
Yeah, where is it?
This
I
is
know
like
it's here.
bingo. You had Diana, Bin Laden.
Fuck, you have
Where is
to.
it? Here it is. There you go, Bin Laden.
Oh my god.
So that,
Bingo!
That, tho-
Jesus. fuck.
those are the unproduced Forrest Gump and Co. sequel ideas that never happened. There was also talks in 2015 of a remake starring Jonah Hill,
Oh,
but those I think those were all just rumors. Full start.
Fucking.
One of the most successful Oscar winners ever, but it's a full start.
Fuck me.
What do you guys think of that?
That is insanity.
it's so insane, and it has to
crazy.
be done. I mean, this is...
We are. I
Okay.
mean, I'm pretty safe in saying we are all going out tomorrow and sourcing a copy of Gump and Co. Right?
I think I'm sourcing a copy of Gump and Co, my friend. Oh my. Right, okay. Who's going first for a pitch?
Motherfucker, I'm hosting.
No, because
Who's
I
going first for a pitch?
want to hear it. Well, here's my problem: is I want to hear it right now,
No,
but I
wanna-
want to save it. That's my problem. This is why I ask you.
Okay.
Tell me, guide
Okay.
me,
Dan,
guide my hips.
why don't you go first?
All right,
You go
fuck,
first with
who
your
can-
sequel pitch.
Right, sure. I'll make this quick because who gives a shit about this one? So my sequel pitch was I wanted
I
to.
give a shit. You said you brought your A game to this.
Oh, I fucking lied.
All right. It's got Deadpool in it.
So it has a duck named Howard.
Yeah.
Right. So.
What
I
else does
wanted
the
to
internet
do
like?
is
Oh,
I-
Forrest Gump burns EA to the ground.
Eh?
Don't write that down.
Topical. So I wanted not necessarily a sequel or a prequel, but a companion movie.
Okay.
Right. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to follow Jenny on her story. We see her going through things that almost not necessarily Gump's story, but the other side of life at that time, what things were like through her eyes. So we'll follow her through the hippie movement. We'll follow her through the Black Power movement, through women's rights. We see all that, and obviously she had quite a hard life, and you can see she made bad choices. So it's not exactly going to be painting it all in rainbows and sparkles. The whole thing, it's not going to be nice. But what I would like to see is how we also get an insight into Forrest's life, and we can see how it wasn't all roses for him. Like the moments where she's with Forrest, she gives a more accurate, detailed account of what's happening.
Right.
And where everything may seem magical and wonderful when he's with her, for her it's completely different. So I want to see it from her eyes, So
You're telling a story two sides of the same coin.
yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm talking. How she grew up in with all this stuff, and how she coped with it, how she dealt with it, and how she came to where she was at the end of the movie.
It's going to be a depressing as fuck movie.
It's gonna be a fucking depressing movie. But then again, Forrest Gump is a very happy movie. And it would just be, I think, a really interesting thing to have, like I said, a companion piece to this. As you said, two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
I said you can sit here if you want to. If I'd have known that he'd have been a terrible person and a stalker, I would have kicked him in the nuts.
I'd known he would have been a gazillionaire, done the same thing all over again.
And your accents are slipping.
I know.
So that's
It
that. I
was
probably
better.
I didn't have a director in mind. I was going to jokingly say David Lynch.
Right.
I think that's a bit much.
I think we know the film that David Lynch can do, and we've just heard it from Lewis.
It's there, possibly from you.
Yeah.
My title would just be Jenny.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
Is that
Jenny
spelled with a
Gump?
hyphen in the middle? Is it Janae?
No, just Jenny.
Okay then. Right.
That.
I mean, I think we all want to hear Ashley's one last, right? So I'll go next.
Go
The year is 1992. Okay, the movie starts in 1992, and then ding dong, the doors open, and we open the door to an aged up Tom Hanks. So we age him up like 10 years. He's playing, he's 61 now. Let's have him play Forrest Gump as a 72-year-old. He opens the door to Robert Zemeckis. who's holding a newspaper about Forrest's run across America, and he's like, "Mr. Gump, I'd like to buy the rights to your life." And so now we've got our framing device. In the first movie, you got Gump on the bench telling his life story to the strangers on the bus stop. And now we've got old Gump, 72-year-old Gump, in the writers' room in 1992, telling his life story to the writers of the first Forrest Gump movie. We're getting meta here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 1992, Gump's 72, so he's born in 1920. So he's going to tell the movie writers a whole different story to what we see in the first movie. So this Gump, his daddy would have survived the Titanic or something. He might have been the one that spotted the iceberg. He's in school when Atlanta bans the teaching of evolution in 1926. Meets a version of Jenny, but she's actually nice. At 21, joins the army like one day before Congress decided to join World War II. Well, Forrest Gump. He's at Iwo Jima and finds the flag or something, or he's one of the people who puts the flag in or takes the picture. After the war, he gets discharged. He opens up a tar company or some shit. He's the reason Disneyland opens with a squishy, wobbly floor. It's a Forrest Gump film. You know the score. You know what's going to happen. You know what it's going to be like. So he tells the writers all of this, and the movie that they make is Forrest Gump, 1994's Forrest Gump, and he's invited to the premiere, meets a de-aged Tom Hanks. Make it look like 94 Tom Hanks. But then the movie, Forrest Gump #1, bears little to no resemblance to his life. And so he goes back home, back to old Jenny, in their quaint little place. Jenny's not dead. Their quaint little place, and he's hounded by the press, and they're asking him questions about his life, and their questions are based on the movie that they've seen, the movie that bears no resemblance to his life, really, and the movie does really well, wins all the Oscars, and we find out that he has no money from Paramount because gullible old idiot Gump that he is, he's signed nothing to give him residuals. And so the town lawyer that tells him that Paramount owned the movie rights to your life, but that's all they own. So Forrest goes and writes a memoir under the pseudonym of Winston Groom, and that book is titled Forrest Gump by Winston Groom. So my movie, I think, fits with the Gump themes. It's a meta revisionist history on the very making of the first film and book itself. That's my pitch.
And it's called
Shit.
Shit, the
You
Forrest
may
Gump
have to
story.
use your electric boogaloo. Yeah?
It's called Forrest Gump to Electric Boogaloo.
Hey, gets it out. Before we get to Ash, I had a quick thought. When you actually say out the plot synopsis of Forrest Gump, it's a fucking stupid movie.
Yeah, it's really contrived. Very contrived plot.
Very stupid. Anyway,
Yeah,
But
true.
it's fun nonetheless. Go on, Ashley. Let's hear your pitch.
I'm gonna settle in.
Wait, I'm getting comfy.
Well,
Wait, my balls are sticking to my legs. Go.
you guys know
Wait, your balls are sticking to your legs. Let me fix that for you.
No, the other side.
There you go.
Thanks.
Welcome.
You guys both know I struggled coming up with a sequel to this.
Yeah, I did.
I came up with two half an hour before I left the house. The first one, it was going to be focused on Forrest Gump Jr. So Haley Joel, 29 as he is today. So both of these films would have been 2017. So Haley Joel reprised his role as Forrest Gump Jr. And as the only thing we're told about him is that he's really smart. So essentially, he would have been running for senator and becoming president and blah, blah, blah. And then Forrest Gump Sr. would have been by his side, all these kooky hijinks along the way. But hey, he's a national icon, so everyone loved him.
So a goofy movie.
A goofy movie. But, I wasn't entirely pleased with that. And then I realised...
Nobody else but you. Just us two. We're stuck
Come on now.
together. Oh, mate, I just want to sing the Goofy movie songs now.
Come on, we're hearing a pitch.
It's not as good as Goof Troop. Goof Troop's better.
Another day, another podcast. So many bonus podcast ideas in this episode. Carry on.
And I realised the main thing that I just kept coming up again and again and again in my notes was that Forrest Gump is an unreliable narrator. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is my sequel. Forrest Gump's a lying old cunt.
Is that your title?
Out the door.
No, I'll tell you now, my title was just Forrest Gump 2.
Okay, give it to us.
Forrest Gump's a Lionel cunt. He just sits at a bus stop, spreading shit to anyone who sits next to him, and he doesn't even notice when they leave. He starts saying something to one person, and he finishes it to someone else. This is the sequel, so now he's saying that he's been involved in every great event since 1980. He stood in front of the tanks at Tiananmen Square because he was looking for a penny that he dropped. He accidentally drove into the Berlin Wall when it fell down. He met Princess Diana, who for some reason or other, she died.
Oh my god. You had it down.
He meets Nelson Mandela. He rescues people from the towers on 9/11.
Fucking hell.
Fuck me.
He was part of the SEAL team that caught Bin Laden, and they used one of his shrimp boats to dump the body.
He's gonna be 60.
Jesus Christ.
Would he be 60
No,
or 70
let him
years
finish.
old?
He's a sergeant with expertise.
Carry on.
And he has a shrimp boat where they can dump the body.
Finish.
And then I only wrote one more after that, and it kind of touches on the meeting Tom Hanks. Because he was on the plane with Sully Sullenberger and helped land it in the Hudson.
Helped land it in the Hudson.
Oh, maybe we should go up.
Okay, Sully, I'll press this button. You do the steering.
There's Tom Hanks next to Tom Hanks.
Right.
Double Hanks.
I mean, you had
Count them. What was it?
What was Princess Diana. You had the towers. You had Bin Laden.
What was that one?
You had the Berlin Wall, but you also had that he's a shit spreader. He just talks and spreads shit all the time. And in the Gump and Co sequel, he does become a pig shit farmer.
Does he? Did I miss that?
You missed that bit, didn't you? I can read it all out again if you like.
I didn't mean it in the way that he literally spread shit.
I know what you meant.
Kudos to you. You nailed it on the head.
So, everybody, those are our sequel pitches. We've got Gump 2, Electric Boogaloo. You've got Forrest Gump 2 and Jenny. You'll find the poll on Twitter when this episode goes up. You go to there, you can vote on it. It'll be pinned to the page. Vote for your favourite pitch, and we shall pitch, and we will reveal it in the next episode. But now I'm going to hand over to who's hosting next? It's Dan, isn't it? I'm going to hand it over to Dan, and Dan's going to tell us all about his full start pick for the next episode. Go, Dan.
Yes. Well, quickly before I get there, I'm going to give us our modern movie one.
Okay.
For the audience, I don't normally do this.
No.
But I thought I would.
I'm excited.
And obviously, December, we know what's coming out. One of the biggest movies of the year. Just the look on your face, Ash.
I don't know.
The Star Wars.
The Star Wars, yeah.
The Star Wars is coming. But no, we're going to go see Jumanji 2.
Oh.
That look on your face. I know it's going to be bad, and I just want to know how bad it is. Yeah.
Are you ready for another 3-hour episode where I just talk shit about a film? I mean, that's entirely this podcast anyway.
But I'll tell you what.
I did this. This is my doing.
No, this isn't your doing. I was all set for Star Wars.
I made us go and watch.
I decided. I promise this is not your fault.
Okay.
It's not your fault.
Fucking someone's fault, and they're gonna
not
answer
your
for
fault
it.
either.
Okay.
It's me. I went.
You're just a bad person.
You're just a bad person.
You're like Jenny.
But you know what? For the picks, I had a thought because it'll be Christmas. It's December, right? And I couldn't find any Christmas movies that were full stars. Sadly, in my research.
He's gonna do something bad.
I decided I want to give you guys a pick. So I have a movie that is a full star, and it only just came out. I believe it was this month or last month that it was in fact a full star, and I have enough information that I can confirm it is. I thought, we could do that. And I thought, but there's a Christmas movie I really want you guys to watch. Now I didn't have a planned sequel, but since it's Christmas, do you guys want to watch a Christmas movie? And I thought, well, I'll bring it to you. Do you want a Christmas movie, or do you want a traditional full star?
See,
I want to know what the options are.
I think I know what the traditional full star is.
I think I know what his Christmas movie is.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
What do you think? What is his traditional full start?
The Mummy.
I think it's
Okay.
The Mummy.
You
Yeah.
think it's the Mummy?
I think his Christmas movie might be Santa Claus Conquers the Martians or something.
Oh, it will be because it's Dan we're talking
It's
about.
going to be that, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Look, it's not that one.
Okay.
I'll give you that. It's not
I mean,
that
that's
one.
one of your favourite films, is it not?
Not one of my. I like that film. I like that film. It's not one of my favourites.
Is he going to do like a special different style?
Is
he
it
going to do a
live action
franchise
or
ender?
animated?
It's live action.
Is it going to be Jingle All the Way too? Starring
can't
Larry
do-
the Cable Guy.
Can't do sequels.
I know, but maybe he was going to do something different. He said he's
Yeah,
going to do
maybe.
something different for Christmas. Just give me the options, Dan.
Oh, well, that's the thing. Like, it's going to be a surprise reveal. Would you rather it be traditional, or do you want do you want a Christmas movie?
I mean, it's Christmas. It's going to be December.
Bear in mind,
Maybe we should
there
do-
is no sequel pitch for this Christmas movie, so it will be literally
So
like
it's not a full start.
it's not a full start. This is the caveat I had. I have a full start, and this Christmas movie isn't one.
Well, in that
But as
case,
it is
if there
Christmas.
is no way that we can do a sequel pitch, bonus Christmas episode.
Yeah, sweet. We'll do it as a bonus. Okay.
Hey, look at that, everybody!
What's this? We're going to have another bonus
We
episode.
wish you a Merry Christmas.
So, the full start we'll be doing is the Will Ferrell vehicle, Step Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually
like
had
that
the
film.
article, and I read about it. Yeah, you may like it, you may not. I don't
I
know if
do.
you're gonna like it, Ash.
I watched it recently, of my own accord. It's a good film. Yay!
And do you know what? I'll even give you the Christmas movie as well.
Go for it. Go on.
We're gonna watch the 1959 movie Santa Claus, directed by Rene Cardona, I believe, which
Is he over
Hold
there?
on.
I happen to have here. Now, just while you guys read over it, it happens to star the fact that Santa Claus lives out in outer space. I believe it's on Mars, and he decides to Satan decides to send a devil named Pitch to spread evil in the world and cancel Christmas. So Santa teams up with Merlin to stop him.
What?
I have the DVD in my hand.
Yep.
Santa Claus, 1959. A pleasant musical fantasy about devils tempting children to do naughty things just before Christmas, so Santa will skip them. But Santa and his helpers are everywhere, so a happy ending is likely.
What?
Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
Right, well.
Gather round, get the family to watch.
Gaze upon me and weep.
Well, that's the end of this episode, I think. Join us next time on Full Starts Podcast. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook, and you can email us at fullstartspod@gmail.com. You can find us on Reddit, maybe. You can find us on iTunes and Podomatic and SoundCloud and all over the internet.
We're everywhere these days.
We're like a disease, probably. But that's the end. Bye.
See you, motherfuckers.
Bye, everybody.
Hello, Dan. I'm making out with your ear hole.
Wet mouth noises.
Okay, now Lewis, in your ASMR workshop, you have just come into the barbers. Hello, my friend. What can I do for you today? Just a short back inside, okay?
I'm over by this here. And now I'm over by this here.
This is a bonus podcast as well.
Oh, watch this. Is going on the end. The end. The end. The end. The end. The end.